Question. Back here in Montgomery, our Summer Fun and Food Drive is this Saturday from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Renfro's Market on East Chase Parkway. We'll be collecting money and non-perishable food items. We'll have station employees and folks out there to help you off dropping off your money or canned food items. Please come out and join us for our Summer Fun and Food Drive this Friday. That's your news. I'm Jed Davis.
I tend to second guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit Creon.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON.com.
What's all the buzz about cleaning your nose, nasal hygiene, and Navage? The science is simple. Your nose is the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses, but it's not perfect. Like washing your hands and brushing your teeth, it's time to start cleaning your nose too. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the back of the nose where most germs and viruses multiply, then flushes them out the other nostril before they reach your lungs. My name's Martin Hope, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. It's been around thousands of years. I did invent Navage to make it easy for everyone. In less than 30 seconds, you can clean your nose. And because it's all natural and drug-free, it's safe to use Navage every single day. Are you ready to join nearly 3 million people who use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier? At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Joe Biden has created a dangerous crisis at our border. Now, illegal immigrants are flooding into our country in record numbers, and they're bringing violent crime and deadly drugs with them. Conservative Katie Britt is running for the U.S. Senate to secure our border and protect Alabama families. Here's Katie Britt.
Joe Biden promised amnesty and free health care to illegal immigrants. And that's exactly why border crossings are now at an all-time high. We need to send fighters to Washington who are dead serious about border security. Here's where I stand. Let's finish President Trump's wall, ban sanctuary cities, crack down on the drug cartels. And here's a novel concept: put American families first for a change. As Alabama's next senator, I will fight back against the Biden liberals and never back down.
Katie Britt is tough on illegal immigration, and she's ready to fight for stronger borders.
I'm Katie Britt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Britt for Alabama, Inc.
For nearly 100 years, folks have trusted Blue Star medicated ointment to relieve the pain and itching of almost any skin irritation.
It works on my son's dry itching feet and their jock itch.
I had this rash on my neck. Nothing worked until Blue Star.
Nothing what? Blue Star works great on my ringworm without steroids.
My wife and I have been using Blue Star for years. It's never let us down.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact.
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
If anyone declares that what might have been used to help their father or mother is Corbin, that is, devoted to God, then you no longer let them do anything for their father or... Alrighty then.
Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and the sun does not appear, I will be here.
And good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's time to rise and shine if you can, for it's another day, believe it or not, that you're on top of the ground and the ground's not on top of you. Good morning. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. It is time for our daily bread, a word from on high, a perspective that you haven't thought about, or maybe one that you might want to change. Either way, it's good for the soul. It is June the 8th, 2022 AD. Today's daily bread is simply entitled Generosity and Joy. Our scripture insight today comes from 1 Chronicles 29, 1 through 9. But 1 Chronicles 29 and 9 says, the people rejoiced at the willing response of their leaders, for they had given freely and wholeheartedly to the Lord. Govern yourselves accordingly. And again, it is June the 8th, 2022 AD. It is a day like all the other days of the past. This is a day that has never been. And this is a day that shall never, ever come again. You won't be able to come back and get a do-over. You can't come back and do all the things that you ought to do today that you don't. And you can't undo the things that you do. So whatever you do this day, June the 8th, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day. Because you only get one. You don't get a do-over. If you have lived a while, like I say every morning, if you've been around a while, you've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should not be, then this is the day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever you do, try to reach back and help somebody else along the way when you can, as long as you can, until you can't. But whatever you do, lend a hand. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live your life, you shall always be successful, because you'll never fail until you quit. We say, give out if you must, rest only if you can, but you never quit. You never give up. You never, ever give up. Generosity and joy. That's our daily bread for this morning, the 8th day of June, 2022. Good morning to you, Montgomery. It's a great day to be alive.
Welcome to today's Our Daily Bread. I'm Sheridan Boise, and I've titled our reading today, Generosity and Joy. Researchers tell us there's a link between generosity and joy. Those who give their money and time to others are happier than those who don't. This has led one psychologist to conclude, let's stop thinking of giving as a moral obligation and start thinking of it as a source of pleasure. While giving can make us happy, I question whether happiness should be the goal of our giving. If we're only generous to people or causes that make us feel good, what about the more difficult or mundane needs requiring our support? Scripture links generosity with joy too, but on a different basis. After giving his own wealth toward building the temple in 1 Chronicles chapter 29, King David invited the Israelites to also donate. The people responded generously, giving gold, silver, and precious stones joyously. But notice what their joy was over. The people rejoiced at the willing response of their leaders, for they had given freely and wholeheartedly to the Lord. Scripture never tells us to give because it will make us happy, but to give willingly and wholeheartedly to meet a need. Joy often follows. As missionaries know, it can be easier to raise funds for evangelism than for administration, because believers in Jesus like the feeling of funding frontline work. Let's be generous toward other needs as well. After all, Jesus freely gave himself to meet our needs. Today's scripture reading is from 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verses 1 to 9. Then King David said to the whole assembly, "My son Solomon, the one whom God has chosen, is young and inexperienced. The task is great, because this palatial structure is not for man, but for the Lord God. With all my resources, I have provided for the temple of my God. Gold for the gold work, silver for the silver, bronze for the bronze, iron for the iron, and wood for the wood, as well as onyx for the settings, turquoise, stones of various colors, and all kinds of fine stone and marble, all of these in large quantities. Besides, in my devotion to the temple of my God, I now give my personal treasures of gold and silver for the temple of my God, over and above everything I have provided for this holy temple. 3,000 talents of gold, gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of refined silver, for the overlaying of the walls of the buildings, for the gold work and the silver work, and for all the work to be done by the craftsmen. Now, who is willing to consecrate themselves to the Lord today?" Then the leaders of families, the officers of the tribes of Israel, the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, and the officials in charge of the king's work gave willingly. They gave toward the work on the temple of God 5,000 talents and 10,000 darics of gold, 10,000 talents of silver, 18,000 talents of bronze, and 100,000 talents of iron. Anyone who had precious stones gave them to the treasury of the temple of the Lord in the custody of Jehiel the Gershonite. The people rejoiced at the willing response of their leaders, for they had given freely and wholeheartedly to the Lord. David the king also rejoiced greatly. Let's pray together. Lord, we know that all true joy in life is sourced in you, and we know that the joy that we get from giving is only because you are generous and you love to give to us. Would you give us hearts that long to be generous today, to those people who are around us, and even towards those needs that just feel difficult or just plain ordinary? Lord, would you teach us about your kind of generosity? We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Alrighty then. Time to rise and shine, every people. Time to get up. Let's do it. Time to go. Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne. Every day. We run to the sun. No sweat. Not yet. Down in the mess hall on my knees. We got nothing to eat but a can of beans. The bread was moldy and the meat was bad. molded and the meat. Well, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go. Here we go. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne. All the way. When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, easing the breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. All the way, airborne, airborne, all the way. Time to rise and shine, people. PT time, PT time. Airborne, airborne, all the way. Driving on, driving on. Early one morning in the frizzling rain, well, I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump match to said 1 minute to go. Green light. Ho! All the way. Let's get it, let's get it. Time to rise and shine. Drive it on, drive it on. All the way, airborne, airborne, all the way. Driving on, driving on, driving on, driving on. Here we go. Here we go. All the way. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough, airborne. Woo! It's time to rise and shine, people. That ought to wake you up. That ought to put some cream in your coffee. This won't think about coffee. My coffee's still back there in the back right there. Okay. All right. Time for PT. After this run, I'm going to go. Somebody find the sergeant major and the first sergeant. Tell him it's time to run and get the mayor out here too. For the strikes the ground. When your left foot strikes the ground. Well, I want to hear a clapping sound. Let me hear that clapping sound. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Feeling good. Gonna run. Hollywood. I'm running in place. Looking good. All right. Dynamite. Everybody. Sound off. Everybody. Let me hear you. In the rear. Keep it tight. In the middle. Dress it right. In the front. Rock steady. Rough and ready. 80 deuce. 80 deuce. Here we go. 80 deuce. Airborne. Airborne. 80 mean. Rough and tough. Rough and tough. Hey, you. How you feel? How you feel? Feeling good. Feeling good. All right. All right. Dynamite. Out of sight. Feeling good. Feeling good. Motivated. Dedicated. Gonna be airborne. Wanna be airborne. Okay. Woo. All right. That was a rough run this morning, but we got it under control. We got it. Thanks, Sergeant Major, First Sergeant, coming out and joining us today. I know you're retiring pretty soon, but you ain't going yet. So let us remember these runs every morning. Okay. Although Fridays we don't do PT. That's the old man time. Anyway, good morning to you. Now let us pay homage to all the people who go in when everybody else is running out, and our armed forces of these United States. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. There are two kinds of people in America, ladies and gentlemen. There are those that are cargo, and then there are those who pull maintenance. This is dedicated to all of those who pull maintenance, civilian and military. Good morning to you, Montgomery Sanitation Department. How you doing? Maintenance Department. Good morning to the Police Department, the Sheriff Department, the ambulance drivers, the Fire Department. Man, everybody. I'm feeling good this morning. It's a great day to be alive, and it's a great day to be on top of the ground rather than the ground on top of you. Good morning. Oh, one more. Saying good morning to all those young folks over there at MEPS and headed to the United States Armed Forces today. We appreciate it. Remember, there's only 2 words you got to remember. Okay, 3 words. Don't ever quit. Don't wimp out. Don't whine out. Don't run back home to mama. Okay? Come on now. Your life is about to change starting today. jarheads, that's an affectionate jarhead. Nothing personal. You know, I like it, guys. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, the United States Marine Corps, whose got the best motto of all branches of service. It is what it is. Semper Fidelis, or Semper Fi. Whether it's Semper Fi, Semper Fidelis, it all means the same thing. And I think we all took the same oath. Always faithful. And last, but certainly not least, the United States Army. Home of the 82nd Airborne, the Green Berets, the United States Army Rangers, the infantry school not that far from Fort Benning, Georgia, SOCOM, ASCOM, and all the rest of the coms. Alrighty then. Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's amazing. It's kind of surreal to sit here in the studio now, talk about the Army. When not so long ago, I was all over the place, in swamps, in the bush. Oh yeah, running, trying to keep up with this guy who was like a lot taller than I was in the swamp, drinking all kinds of swamp water. Yeah, RIP, Ranger Indoctrination Program. Oh yeah, I was there, baby. I was there. Yes, I was there to the hard times, some of the good times. And I remember some of our fallen comrades. As a matter of fact, people have a tendency sometimes to think that because you're in food service in the military, that somehow you don't, your butt ain't on the line like everybody else's. Well, we lost a food service guy about a couple of years ago with the Rangers, as a matter of fact. Shoot didn't open, and he's what we call a streamed in, and what a terrible thing. Oh, everybody knows, everybody that stands in the door of an aircraft, they know that there's a possibility that something could. We hope for the best. We pray that it doesn't, but there's always a possibility that something could go wrong. And I just commend the guys who knowing that danger, still do their duty to protect the great United States of America. So whether you're Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard, or Merchant Marine, we salute you. Good morning. All right, got a new sponsor this morning. I got to tell you about it. I got a new sponsor for the show this morning. And who that is? Well, I've been trying for a long time to get this. I want to thank you guys for helping me out here, because now we got them. Y'all got to help me keep them. Okay, I'm just saying. I got a new sponsor. I know, because when you're the king of AM, you gotta work double hard. But that's okay. I got a new sponsor this morning. That's right, JL Lane Truck and Auto. Oh yeah, JL Lane Truck and Auto. Now, the Lane Corporation, of course, is a fantastic corporation. Right now, they are in the car business. That's right, and the truck business. And if you need, if you're looking for a car or an SUV for yourself as a graduation present, or a gift for an outstanding service or performance in school, or a great employee, or any other occasion, look no further than JL Lane Truck and Auto. Okay. And if you can't get there, really, if you can't get there, you can go to their website. Okay, I'm gonna put that website on my Facebook page, but it's JL Lane Truck and Auto, just spelled out that way. Okay, JL Lane Truck and Auto.com. And you can look at all the inventory that they have on their lot right now. They got some fantastic prices. And with everything going up, they're making cars more affordable. Here's the great thing. Here's the great thing. Let's say you've had some trouble in the past. Okay, your credit's not as good as it ought to be. Don't worry about that. Don't even worry about it, because they buy there, you pay there, and they don't put you through all these rigmaroles, things you got to go through. Everybody had a couple of bumps along the way. Everybody's had it. I've had them. You've had them. I mean, everybody had a couple of bumps along the way. I heard somebody say the other day, everybody has a mistake or two in their inventory of life. We all do. But that don't mean give up. So if you want a nice car, okay, a nice car, and you don't have a whole lot of money to pay every month, but you got some money to pay every month, I need you to pick up the phone and ask for Steve, 272-4313. But again, go to the website, JL Lane Truck and Auto, okay? And look at the inventory. You can look at it. So while you're at work today, you know, I know you're tired of riding that bus. I know you are. Okay, I got nothing against buses. Don't get me wrong, because sometimes that's what you got to do. But anyway, so I do sponsor today, JL Lane Truck and Auto. Okay, you need to take care of your needs, and it don't hurt. It don't hurt to buy your grandkids a car or something like that, you know, to help them out. Okay, like I did my son. Okay, you don't have, you don't hurt. It just don't hurt. You can do that. Okay. Anyway, so go to the website, JL Lane Truck and Auto, all one word, .com. And then they got all the inventory. They got nice pictures of the cars and things of that nature. So you can shop from the house. Okay? You can shop from the house. You don't even have to go down there yet. Matter of fact, if it's that, if you don't want to get out, you know, you call it up, you make the deal. And now I don't do this normally, but I will go over there and bring the car to you. That's right. As long as you give me a ride back. I'm just saying. All right then. So give them a call. 272-4313. Okay, he said, I'm gonna try you, Elkins. I'm gonna try you. I'm gonna see if you can do for us what you've done for others. Well, I'm gonna do my very best. Okay, because everybody needs to ride every once in a while. So good morning to you. Anyway, okay, what's up? Okay, gotta take a little break. We'll come back with lessons of life. And the first lesson this morning is go to JL Lane Truck and Auto, okay, .com. Okay, and here's the number. Write it down, 272-4313. Now, we shall return uno momento, okay, and call them. And even if you can't do business with them right now, call them up and say, hey, soon as I get my duckies in an order, I am going to come out there to see you guys, okay? Again, go to the website, JLLaneTruckandAuto.com, and look at the inventory. All right? I'm just saying, you might want to take a look at that. All right, got to take a break. We'll be back. I don't know why this is a millennial weekend, because I'm a millennial day, because the millennials just get on my nerves sometimes. But some of them are really nice. Anyway, we'll be back. Oh, God, love the millennials. M-I-A-L-E-N-N-I-A. Hey, God, love millennials. She posts lots of selfies on her Instagram. We list a quote that's inspirational.
Sponsored by Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you.
Gotta love millennials.
Blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
A few scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Overall coverage is not to the point where everyone is guaranteed wet weather, but I do think we have a better opportunity for your Wednesday to see some of those showers. For those that stay dry, though, low and mid-90s still dominate the forecast. We'll keep low and rain chances in the forecast Thursday before we bump them back up Friday into Friday night. Looks like we'll be drying out and maybe stay a little bit cooler in the upper 80s for the weekend. And that's your first alert forecast. I'm WSFA meteorologist Amanda Curran on News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. 2 West Boulevard, we've got an accident with injuries, so please use caution there. And 65 northbound, just past the Cusana exit 176, there's a minor accident at that location. So keep your eyes open if you're heading either one of those directions. Your home is worth more now than ever before. So get those special projects started. Call the A-Team at MCS in Wetumpka for a cash-out refinance or an equity loan. MCS 567-9000. And MLF 232-876. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
Why are you driving around town on those old ball tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old, bald, and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
One of the largest eSport events of the year, DreamHack, is happening in Dallas this weekend. Taking place in the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center, fans of all esports will be able to see major matches as well as enjoy community events. Headlining the event is the IEM, the current major tournament in professional Counter-Strike. In the collegiate realm, Collegiate Rocket League is having their first ever Global Worlds tournament, which features both American and European universities.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, leads the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333.
$49 down delivered. Hey, Montgomery's Flat Bill Network still here with Budget Car and Truck Sales. That's right, $49 down delivered. Shop over 300 late model light vehicles, cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, convertibles, sports cars, America's finest, starting with prices of $6,900 and $49 down delivered. Yep, think your credit report's a little messy? Then no in the past, bankruptcy, medical bills, or even a foreclosure. Budget treats everyone with five-star respect for all credit situations. I work with the banks and understand your credit and know you're more than just a number. Your number one is this special relationship. Allowing 100% credit approval gold. That's right, 100% credit approval gold. It's absolute top dollar for your car. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one. No trade-in required. Oh, did I say $49 down delivered? Budget Car and Truck Sales.
NILMEL. Galileo. Good morning, peoples.
Here in the South, we know a thing or two about summer heat. So when it comes to outdoor projects, you need equipment that's fast, durable, and easy to use. At SunSouth, that's exactly what you get with quality John Deere equipment ready to tackle any project that comes your way. And owning a John Deere is easy with 0% financing available on most models. So you'll beat the heat and you'll save money. To find the John Deere that's right for you, come see us at SunSouth. Equipment for those that do.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2, and it's all happening right here on News Radio 1440.
M-I-A-M-E-L-O. Galileo. Karen.
Oh, they come and burn in facial hair. Somehow he believes, although he has no job, that by his 30s he will be a millionaire. M-I-L-L-E-N-N-I-A.
Oh! Wow, want to take this opportunity to welcome Karen Jones to our little escapade this morning. I sat out there with Karen one day. What year was that? We sat out there and on Fairview Avenue making plates for people. That was really nice. She let me on Thanksgiving, as a matter of fact. We although they already ate that already, but we gave them a meal. You know, she did. Her organization did. Forgot which organization that is, but we sat out there, and she was only out there by herself. No, there's one more person out there. We was out there fixing plates on Thanksgiving. Okay, I'm just saying. You know, they do things. There are things going out there. You know, there are a lot of people who do lots of things in the city of Montgomery that really never get the attribution for doing those things. I guess you can. But I got to go with Eileen said. You know, listen, when you've done enough, and sometimes you do enough and you still don't get recognized. But you will get your recognition either in this life or the next. You will. It just takes a little longer sometimes to, you know, it takes a little longer sometimes to get it. So, you know, when you've done enough, when you've suffered enough, you will get your recognition. But I want to thank her for sitting out there sometimes and, you know, looking out after the poor folks. You never know. Matter of fact, I need to find out where all these poor folks' lines are because I tell you what, gas going up, everything. Gas went up 4 cents extra last night. And I'm still trying to figure out why the gas going up. Seriously, America has more gas than any other. We got more oil than any other country. And we sitting there kissing the butt of everybody who wants to take our gas up. But y'all put that idiot Democrat in the White House. So that's up to y'all. All you folks who voted Democrat for Biden, y'all crazy. But now you're paying for it. Now, normally when you say you're paying for it, normally that's just that's just a cliche. But this is one time in American history, besides the Depression, that we actually are paying for our vote. Except we're not getting much for the money. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm gonna leave that alone until I get down lessons of life and stuff like that, because I don't know. Anyway, lessons of life. The things you learn by living, the things you heard about them, but now you can't really identify with them until you go through some things in this world. But first of all, the word of the day. Okay? The word of the day means to wander aimlessly. Now, I believe that if I go to the dictionary and see this word, I'll see a picture of a lot of y'all. Okay? To wander aimlessly. Okay? But the word is stravage. That's right, stravage. S-T-R-A-V-A-G-E. Stravage. It means to wander aimlessly. So, if you get a counseling sheet from your boss and it has this word attached to it, your days of working at that company are not very long. Okay, you'll be gone soon. So don't get too comfortable. Okay, stravage. So that's a word you don't ever want to see on anything associated with you. Stravage. S-T-R-A-V-A-G-E. You just because they figure you just lost and you don't know where the hell you are. Okay, so you don't want to see that word. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, to wander aimlessly. Okay, that means you don't have a clue. Now we all been there, but I was like 3 or 4 when I was there. Maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. But come think, okay, I ain't gonna lie. I've been that way in my older life sometimes too. So hey, it happens. Okay, but you don't ever want anybody to know you when it happens like that. Okay, stravage, to wander aimlessly, and a lot of people got that disease right now. All right, lessons of life. Now, some of you, we live in a country that football means a lot to us, right? It means a lot to us. I mean, America is a different country during football season. Now you'll find out shootings go down, robberies don't, not that much. People even get along better, okay, during football season in America. So that's why it means so much to us to get football, because then we can put our anger, we can do everything we do against the other team and protect our team. Okay, that's America. Everybody's got a team. Okay, but life is a lot like a football game. Sometimes it takes a bunch of first down to get to the goal line. Okay, getting to the goal line, isn't that what life is all about? A touchdown gets you the same 7 points, okay, if you throw a long pass. Okay, now, that does happen, but we know for sure that if you eat up enough yards, if you go down that field hard enough, tough enough, and you're tough enough to get there, you'll probably get a touchdown also. One is the hard way. One seems to be the easy way. Okay, but either way it goes, it is 7 points. But what's the advantage of getting a bunch of first downs? Anybody know what the advantage is? Sometimes getting a bunch of first down, although the pass will get you 7 points too, but getting the first down, you know what that does for us? You know what it does for us? And a lot of us right now are sitting on the field of life, trying to figure out how to get the touchdown. Some of us, we like the glim and glamour of the long pass. Guys streaking down the road, trying to look good for the cameras. and all of a sudden the ball, he sees it in the sky. He jumps up, bam! He got it. He ended the touchdown. That's it. I mean, that's it. He's the man for the moment. He's the man. But then there's teams like the Green Bay Packers, who for years didn't believe in all them long touchdowns. They believe in grinding it up. They believe in one first down after another first down after another first down. Get down that field. Wear your opponent out. Well, here's what we learned. Sometimes, although the long pass, the glorious pass, it looks good, but do you know what tells people a lot about you? Is how many first downs you're willing to fight for. How many? Because getting first downs shows us, at the end of the day, if we have what it takes to work our way down the field. So sometimes we forget that. We like the glorious pass, but the guy who busts his hump to get down that field knows more about himself than the guy who caught a long pass. So I'm telling you, whether it's a long pass or a first down, yes, it is 7 points. But one of those touchdowns tell you a hell of a lot more about who you are and what you're capable of when you have to do it. And again, eventually what we're made out of. So that is my lesson in life today. So don't worry about the pass. Don't worry about the long pass. Don't worry about that. You just keep making first down. You keep making you get it 10 yards at a time. And I guarantee you will be successful down the field. Just keep getting 10 yards at a time. And that's the way life is. Some people seem to get it all in hand and they got it all ready to go and they don't ever have a hard time. Well, if that's true, that means when you were sleeping last night, they was working. Okay? Nothing's easy. And anything that easy won't last long. And the things that last long did not come easy. Keep getting first downs. Don't worry about the pass. But don't get me wrong now. If somebody throws you on, do your best to catch it. It is June the 8th. It is the 159th day of this year. There are 206 days left in this year. It was on June 8, 1968, authorities announced the capture in London of James Earl Ray, the suspected assassin of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King. The year was AD 632. The Prophet Muhammad died in Medina. In 1845, Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States, died in Nashville, Tennessee. The year was 1920. The Republican National Convention opened in Chicago. Its delegates ended up nominating Warren G. Harding for its president. In 1939, Britain King George IV and his consort, Queen Elizabeth, arrived in Washington, D.C., where they were received at the White House by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Yes, sir. So what? I know what you mean. I know, but it's history. 1948, the Texas Star Theater made its debut on NBC TV with Milton Berle guest hosting the first program. Now, Berle was later named the show's permanent host. In 1966, I know you guys don't know who Milton Berle is. 1966, a merger was announced between the National and American Football Leagues to take effect in 1970. 70, not 17. Yeah, you know what I mean. 1967, during a 6-day Middle East war, 34 American servicemen were killed when Israeli attacked the USS Liberty, a Navy intelligence gathering ship in the Mediterranean. Israel later said the Liberty had been mistaken for an Egyptian vehicle. I've always wondered about that too. 1978, a jury in Clark County, Nevada, ruled the so-called Mormon will, purportedly written by late billionaire Howard Hughes, was a forgery. The year was 1995. U.S. Marines rescued Captain Scott O'Grady, whose F-16 Charlie fighter jet had been shot down by Bosnian Serbs on June the 2nd. Mickey Mantle received a liver transplant in a Dallas hospital. However, the baseball great died 2 months later. Okay. The year was 2003. Okay. Frustrated and angry over delays, a coalition of the nation's mayors meeting in Denver asked federal officials to bypass state governments and give them the money they needed to beef up homeland security. Right. 13 years ago, North Korea's highest court sentenced American journalist Laura Lean and Una Lee to 12 years hard labor for trespassing. And we let people just walk in freely. I don't know. Anyway, the women were pardoned in August 2009 after a trip to Pyongyang by President Bill Clinton. Omar Bongo, 73, the world's longest-serving president who ruled Gabon for 42 years, died at a Spanish hospital. And those are some things that have happened on this day. Well, one more thing. In 2017, former FBI Director James Comey, a cheat and liar in fact, testifying before Congress, asserted that President Donald John Trump fired him to interfere with his investigation of Russia's ties to the Trump campaign, now which we all know was a lie. Everybody knows it was a lie. And even folks across the pond know it was a lie. Everybody knows it was a lie. And if anything going to happen to any of those people that lied on that man, no. And I'm telling you something. We worried about the wrong thing sometimes in America, right? We're worried about, and it's the politicians who ought to be worried about guns in Americans' hands. That's who's worried about it, because these folks are doing things in this country that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We're allowing people to come unfettered through our borders. You know, we're allowing, we're being held hostage by people who would do us harm. We got to kiss the butt and the rings of people for oil. When we got more oil, we actually give oil, we actually sell our oil to other countries. Now, most Americans don't know that. We sell our oil to other countries, and then we turn around and buy Russia's oil. I mean, does that make any sense to anybody? Doesn't make sense to me. And now, President of the United States wants to invoke the War Production Act, I think that's what it's called, and come up with he wants to come up with making all buildings, retrofit all buildings with solar panels and energy saving things. Yeah, remember that? How did that work out in Texas? When when it became so cold in Texas, the wind stopped blowing and the windmills didn't work. So a lot of people were freezing in their homes. How did that work out for them? What an idiot we got in the White House. Normally I don't use idiot, but we got an idiot in the White House. You know, and y'all put him in there, not me. We have an outright idiot in the White House. It is what it is. Let me go and get me upset. Can't believe we actually put somebody that incompetent in the White House of America. I don't know. Where's Washington when you need him? Okay, where's he at? But y'all put an idiot in the White House. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all put an idiot in the White House. Anyway, I gotta go. We're killing our country.
An emotional meeting.
Oh, it is 6 points, ain't it? Well, you know what I mean. We got to give that other point. You know, that's a given. Okay. Who misses field goal? Come on, man.
Commissioner Elton M. Dean Senior Park sits on 15 acres on the west side of Montgomery. Some national news: recently, a 12-year-old fired a gun while robbing a gas station in Michigan and got away with thousands of dollars in cash. He fired the shot into the ceiling, and nobody was hurt. Police say the shooter was later arrested. Back here in Montgomery, our Southern Fun Food Drive is this Saturday from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Renfro's Market on East Chase Parkway. We'll be collecting money and non-perishable food items. We'll have station employees and folks out there to help you off, dropping off your money or canned food items. Please come out and join us for our Summer Fun and Food Drive this Friday. That's your news. I'm Jed Davis.
WLWI AM, the home of the Ben Shapiro Show, and heard on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We found out about an hour ago Larry Nassar survivors are demanding more than $1 billion in damages from the FBI, insisting the agency failed to protect them from the former team doctor for USA Gymnastics. The claimants include Olympians Simone Biles, Aly Raisman, and Michaela Maroney. One of their attorneys is John Manley.
You have not only the cover-up, the hypocrisy, but this double standard. And it smells like dirty cops trying to protect dirty cops.
Nassar is serving life in prison. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill will hear wrenching testimony today from survivors and loved ones of victims killed in the mass shootings in Uvalde and Buffalo. Correspondent Stacey Lynn.
We're mad as hell.
Garnell Whitfield Jr.'s mom, Ruth, was killed during the racist attack at a grocery store in Buffalo.
My mother's life mattered.
During his emotional testimony yesterday, he challenged Congress to act on gun safety measures. Today, we'll hear from parents who had to bury their children, like Felix and Kimberly Rubio. Their 10-year-old daughter, Lexi, was killed in Uvalde, and the youngest person to testify, 11-year-old Mia Cerrillo, will tell her story of how she smeared her dead classmate's blood on her own body so the gunman would think she was already dead.
Moderna is reporting its updated COVID shot provides protection against the Omicron variant. The CDC says highly contagious BA4 and BA5 strains are now spreading quickly across the country. There's no break for drivers facing higher gas prices by the day. AAA says the national average is less than a nickel shy of $4 a gallon and more than $4.95 today. CBS's Carter Evans is in LA where they're at $6.39 a gallon.
Eye-popping prices at the pump still aren't scaring away summer travelers, according to oil analyst Tom Closa.
How high is it going to have to get before people actually really pull back on driving?
My sense is that people are still going to take vacations.
The high demand could drive the national average to $5 a gallon within weeks.
San Francisco DA Chesa Boudin sounding like a winner after he was recalled in yesterday's primary.
We have already won because we are part of a national movement that recognizes we can never incarcerate our way out of poverty.
LA Democrats Rick Caruso, Karen Bass headed to a runoff. A six-time major champ is going ahead and playing for a Saudi-backed golf invitational. Bill Mickelson tells reporters in London today,
I don't condone human rights violations, but to see the opportunity for Live Golf to do a lot of good for the game throughout the world.
He'll get $200 million just to complete Live events. This is CBS News.
The World News Roundup is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket can.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and all listings where access not over. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Was your business hurt in the years of the pandemic? Have you had a serious decline in revenue since 2019? Was your business partly or fully shut down by the government? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you may be eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. How? By taking advantage of the Employer Retention Tax Credit, a fully funded tax credit created to help businesses during these difficult times. The experts at ERTC Rebate Masters are ready to help you get the money you're owed. Call 844-333-ERTC or 844-333-3782.
One of the most famous pictures of the Vietnam War, a young girl running naked after she was hit by napalm, was taken 50 years ago today.
Kim Phuc still remembers the moment.
I saw 4 bombs landing, then suddenly the fire everywhere around me.
It was a napalm attack. Moments later came the iconic picture of the 9-year-old naked and screaming running down a village road. She barely survived, undergoing dozens of surgeries. Today, Kim Phuc lives in Toronto. She has 2 children. As for her story of survival,
I never thought that I would be alive, but I'm so thankful.
Steve Futterman, CBS News.
Italy reporting one of Europe's largest ever drug busts. Officials there say undercover agents seized about 4.3 tons of cocaine in Colombia before they were shipped to Italy. When the drugs arrived, agents posing as dealers passed them on to traffickers. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Make a brother want to drive somewhere. Everybody do all kind of things.
She's great, but with the kids, you really need more space.
You should check out Garden. We got a home equity market. Yeah, my mom got a garden home at the house. They refinance too.
Thanks, I'll check them out.
Connect with Guardian for all your lending needs. It's a fact. Guys, you don't want my business to the doctor.
I'm start some trouble with you. What you want to talk about? When you going back on there?
About 7, 8 after.
What is that new?
I got Jim Lane trucking out.
When you want me to come back?
Whenever you want to come back.
I know. When's your next? When'd you say?
Come back about 20 after.
20 after. All right, good deal.
None of y'all bored in there now. I won't. You don't want.
DQ presents the sound of an all-star summer lineup. Leading off, the promising rookie, new Oreo Dirt Pie. On deck, the fan favorite Girl Scout Thin Mints. Summer standouts, Drumstick with peanuts and cotton candy. And batting
M-I-A-M-E-L
with your red spoon and 6 summer blizzard flavors. Official treat of MLB. All part of the new DQ All-Star Summer Blizzard lineup.
Woo!
Happy tasting.
All right.
Now remember the camera's on.
Well, then you better shut that off.
Well, I can't shut it off because I got to kill my whole thing. We'll talk about that there.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. This is going to be good.
Yeah, it'll be very educational.
Yeah, well, if we had an idiot on the radio, I'd say that too. But I know we got one in the White House. He wasn't always an idiot, but he's one now. And you're not hearing about all the Democrats who are leaving the White House because of him. Yeah, yeah, you ain't seeing that. Yep, you ain't seeing that one. Oh, is it time to go back already? Okay. Good morning, everybody. Listen, I am pleased to announce this morning that my show has been brought to you by JL Lane Truck and Auto. That's right, a new sponsor. So if you find yourself in need of a new truck, now I guaranteed the man that we would sell some cars for him this morning, so y'all got to help me out. You know, I want to stay employed, okay? So now, here's what you need to do, all right? You need to call him up, 272-4313, okay? But his website, JL Lane, all one word, JL Lane Truck and Auto. That's A-N-D, Auto, okay? JL Lane Truck and Auto, okay? And you'll see inventory on the website. They got prices there and everything. A beautiful car, some really nice cars. Don't have to worry about credit, anything like that, because you pay there, you buy there, you pay there. Okay, so don't be intimidated. I'm just saying, you might want to call Mr. Lane, Kathy, Steve down there and tell them you need a car because you want to trade in. Okay, I stole this from Joe Hagler, but you want to trade in your rubber heel for some rubber wheels. You might want to tell them about that. Okay, that wasn't my saying, but I like it, so I used it. All right. Anyway, the number is 272-4313. So are you looking for a car or an SUV for yourself or a graduation present or just a gift for an outstanding employee or your cousin or your grandchild, whatever the case may be? They check them out. They're in good running order. They're not going to sell you no junk. You don't have to worry about taking it off the lot and worry about and worry about it. Okay, you can buy with confidence. You can buy with a surety that they will take care of all your needs when it comes to purchasing a vehicle. Okay, again, you want to go to the website, JL Lane, that's JLLENE, truckandauto.com. Okay, you want to check it out. And they got a little thing there that allows you, that tells you about the cars, that show you a picture of the cars. You can shop at home in your pajamas, or even with no pajamas on, however you want to do, whatever floats your boat. But you can sit there and then call them up, ask for Steve, 272-4313. Okay. Now, if you can't get to the lot, you can always look at the website. Okay. And I just want to thank those guys for giving us a try this morning. Again, our show's been brought to you by JL Lane Truck and Auto. Okay. That number again, 272-4313. Okay. Now I told you we're going to sell them a car. So if nothing else, call them up and say, hey, listen, I'm in need of a car. Right now, I don't have it all together, but as soon as I get it all together, I'm going to call JL Lane. Okay. They're going to call you. Truck and Auto. Okay. I'm just telling you, you might want to do that. Okay. Ask for Steve, Kathy, anybody there, they can help you out. Okay. Okay. Again, if you want to go to the website, if you're sitting there doing nothing right now, sitting at home, just go to the website, JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. And you can look at all the inventory that they have on the lot right now, and more comes and goes. So, but don't be scared to go, because they buy there, pay there. So you don't have to worry about, going to AMC or Ford or GMC Credit Union, all that stuff. Now, they let you buy there and pay there. Okay, I'm just saying. So that number again, once again, 272-4313. 272-4313. Ask for Steve. And don't forget, you can check all their cars out online. JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. All right. Check him out. I want to thank this guy. I told him we're gonna sell lots of cars. I thought we're gonna sell enough cars, so he got to get some more inventory. And by the end of the year, he's just gonna be wiped out. I'm just saying. You might want to call him up and tell him that. All right. Anyway, that number again one more time: 272-4313. That's JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. All right then. Well, I forgot there was a city council meeting yesterday. I do not know why I don't know who I didn't know there was a city council meeting yesterday. I must have missed it. I don't know how. I must be not on. Somebody told me I need to belong to the city council page, but I don't. I guess I'd have to do that. Anyway, I don't know what happened, because normally I talk about something, but I thought that was next week. Anyway, gas going on $4 cents more a gallon. How in the world can a country be hostage to other countries when we have more oil than any country in the world just about? How is that possible? Americans, think about this. Just think about this. We are sending oil to other countries while we are buying oil from other countries. Does that make any economic sense whatsoever? So you're sticking it to us, getting our money, and then turning around, getting the money, giving it to the people who's sticking to us. So Americans getting stuck twice, and they don't even know this. I mean, this is crazy. Anybody heard of Alaska? Yeah, they got plenty of oil up there. Matter of fact, they got so much oil up there that they give everybody a check once a year. all the citizens up there get a check once a year. I don't know how much the check is, somewhere around $3,000, something like that. That's enough money for me to buy gas all year. I'm just saying, who owns this country? It used to be us. Okay. I wasn't included initially, but I'm laying claim to it. Okay. I don't know who owns it now. I don't know. I don't know who owns the country. See here now. Let's go to the phone right quick. Good morning. Who's this? What you want, Ed?
didn't have an idea. I thought everybody said, well, you right, or you right, and thank you, amen. That's what I thought people say. But God, can you, anybody, he wants to get it, again, anybody, he wants to the way, he wants to. He can use anybody the way, any way he wants to, Kevin. I'm not gonna call you, make you smile or you grin. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna try to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. And that's what God can do. And some people call you just, you're a smile and a laugh. And that's stupid to me, But we don't own nothing. God is in control, okay? I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not.
And you are, and you are a hypocrite. You don't beat people down. You don't beat people down with what you believe. You show people what you believe by the way you show people what you believe by the way you carry yourself. Okay, you don't have to keep telling us the same thing every morning. Show us. Okay, you don't have to keep telling us. Okay, no, you come across sometimes as a very, very hypocritical individual. You just do. Okay. But I know, but you're not God. But you're not God. But sometimes you try to act like you God, but you're not. Okay. Anyway. Believe me, I worried a whole lot more about God than you. Anyway, is that okay? Is that it? Anyway, hey, good talking to you. Gotta take a break. We'll be back after this. I got a guest coming on in a couple minutes. We'll talk to him.
Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Dell Technologies. Dell Technologies and Windows 11 provide innovators with the tools to succeed. To do more with the Latitude laptop, Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for Business. For advice and expertise, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
A few scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Overall coverage is not to the point where everyone is guaranteed wet weather, but I do think we have a better opportunity for your Wednesday to see some of those showers. For those that stay dry, though, low and mid-90s still dominate the forecast. We'll keep low and rain chances in the forecast Thursday before we bump them back up Friday into Friday night. Looks like we'll be drying out and maybe stay a little bit cooler in the upper 80s for the weekend. And that's your first alert forecast. I'm WSFA meteorologist Amanda Curran on News Radio.
I love you. Brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got an accident on the Wetumpka Highway. It's southbound at Anderson Road. It's past the river bridge just before you get to Anderson Road. So please use caution on this. 231 southbound, just across the Tallapoosa River Bridge before Anderson. Fall registration for Trenton State begins June 21st, and classes start August 19th. Your exciting future begins at Trenton State. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Driving around town on old ball tires. Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old bald and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
He's got neckties. He's got socks. Give him a gift that really rocks. Treat your dad to a $5,000 basement barbecue or backyard upgrade. What would your pup choose? A brand spanking new grill area, all new lawn care equipment, a ginormous flat screen for the man cave? Pop gets to pick. Head to our website to enter this national contest for a chance at $5,000 for a basement barbecue or backyard upgrade for your top pop.
Enter and win at News Radio.
On the radio.
Sit down, man.
I'm invited.
Y'all need somebody to talk to anyway.
Stage and pattern concrete foundations to commercial manufacturing,
that's
driveways to commercial parking lots, even heavily invested in polished concrete for durable and inexpensive long-term service. What you may not know is we have equipment for clearing lots for construction, clearing and ridding land of scrub and underbrush. We cut roads, clear fence lines, clear pond dams, and pretty much any application where land is overgrown. We have mulchers that can grind underbrush into shreds and return it to nature for composting. Our equipment is minimally invasive, not disturbing and upturning your property where additional grading might be necessary. To clean and clear your property, call Pinier at 334-284.
Well, that's why that traffic's always on time.
In Europe, they in Europe they confiscated millions of dollars of cocaine.
That was splendid.
Yeah, and I was just wondering.
I mean, that's how the radio biz does it. It's splendid. I don't know how to do that.
It is a very insidious drug. Very insidious.
We don't need no help. I mean,
I don't need a hint.
you can hear, as long as we sound all right.
I mean, I know y'all drop coming down a level by coming in here. Yeah, I understand.
We're gonna help you. We're helping you.
I'm ready for the big questions.
Okay.
Either recommended certain running shoes that better fit the structure of my feet.
You getting the board
That
next?
sound, hang on.
Huh?
No referral necessary for book insurance. Hey, walk, crawl, live, roll, any way you can
That
get
looks
there.
all-
but
that
see
sounds
Dr.
awful
Brian King
fast.
At Greenville Foot Care. Call for
I think it's sped up a little bit.
334 or check out greenvillefootcare.com.
No representation is made as to the quality of
Uh,
the service performed or as to the
that does
expertise
absolutely.
provided.
Declare your freedom
All right.
and start your
There's something about the addiction to cocaine that's separate from every other addiction. Alcoholism, heroin, any other drug is addiction. If you have an addictive personality, okay, or if you are an alcoholic, or if you have other addictions, doesn't mean you may be addicted to cocaine. Doesn't mean it. They stand alone separately, and you never know exactly what kind of addiction you're going to have to cocaine until you do it. Then after you
So I gotta
do
try it before I buy
then
it.
you do it, you see what kind of a hook it's going to have on you. That's why you hear about people that lose their families, they lose their things, they go and become cracked out coke addicts.
Sure, you can get a freebie.
Because they can't. Here, try this.
You tell them I'm on the radio.
Hey, here's a free one. And you don't know until after it's done. But then once it's hooked in you, it's hooked in you. And it can be that extreme to where people give up everything.
And he was joking on what I said.
But you don't know until you do it as to how addictive it's going to be to you. There's people that do it walk away, but there's other folks that do once and then can't quit. So, but that's why it stands alone than any other drug when it comes to addictive problems.
I haven't tried any drugs or anything yet.
And you could smoke cigarettes and quit, or you could do heroin and quit. It has nothing to do with what type of a hook coke's going to have.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in the studio with me for a couple of moments.
It's a double treat.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. You know, I'm from old school. You know, we don't have to have a lot of syllables if we don't need them.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm from the new school.
Yeah, I understand.
We are guests.
Anyway, that voice,
We're guests.
that voice you hear now, Major Delay, everybody knows
No
it.
mind.
Yeah, Major Delay. And we got you want to use your real
My name's Paul.
Okay, Paul. Okay.
No last names.
Paul is here this morning. Paul is my program director, which I don't know exactly what that means.
It
but-
doesn't mean anything. It
but-
means I fill out a report at
Yeah.
the end of the month. That's about all that means.
Yeah, but how long you been in radio? Long time?
15, 20 years. I don't know.
That's it.
Over 15 years.
Okay, got a head full of hair still.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good hair. He down there on that
He
mix.
talks a lot about my hair.
Yeah, he got that Mix 103. Now down there, they talk nice. They just
That's
have,
right.
They don't have any controversial things. Everybody's nice, kumbaya moment.
Well,
that's why they don't let me on down there.
It's not exactly kumbaya. We just
I understand.
we have a
We're about
broader
the music.
Yeah,
It's about the music and
About the
encouraging people and helping them in their day. You know?
Right.
Kind of like John Tesh.
Right, and
Very teshy.
right. He also is a preacher, and I don't even think he's a bootleg preacher. I think he's a real one.
He's certified. Yeah.
Yeah, they're certified. So that's good.
Well,
You know.
certified
Card carrying, bona fide.
papers and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
He's had his shots. He
Yeah.
Got his paper, had his
I mean, I can't show you a card today, but
I understand. I did go on the internet. And I've started to become a preacher one night, but I figured,
you can be one for $35.
Well,
you can get your ordination for $35 and
well, I'm saying some people get called, some just go. So I'm just gonna leave that alone.
some folks don't answer.
Yeah, some people don't need to answer. Anyway, let me see who this is right quick. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
Before your guests get to talking and stuff, I want to tell you, commend you on your service starting off in the other hour there. You finally came with something that was nice to hear about this gas price. If you can recall, I realize I got kind of old now, but I think back in
No, we didn't get kind of old. Yeah.
Kennedy was president, and he made a a point
All right, that's
to
us.
correct that, and we'll never run short on fuel again in this country. And I think that was back about 30-something years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I just looked up. Yeah, I just looked up the statistics a few minutes ago. We export millions of gallons of oil every day in America. Millions. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To get started on that. Now, he made the American people a promise that we'll never run short again. So then they start building these reserve tanks, storage tanks all over certain states in the country, in the United States. I won't call them names because they might not want people to know where it at, all on there. But they have enough oil in reserve to supply the United States for the next 100 years. They have enough stored already in reserve. Now that's one good thing the politicians did. But then after that, the politicians decided they had to milk the American public some kind of way, and that's when they came up with these cars that stopped the pollution of the air, and it cut down on the gas mileage of cars. They put that on there, and that cut down on your gas mileage. So all this was just sudden. They sit up and behind these closed doors and thought of something, and then they banned the country where you couldn't buy an automobile in certain countries, such as Korea. This here been back about 20 years ago. In Korea, you could buy a car that would give you the engine. You could get 47 miles to a gallon of gas.
Well, that's true, but you can only get one person in it.
That's what they say. You could have got more than that in there. That car was built more efficient where it wouldn't use all that gas, but they banned all that. They stopped them from sending cars over there. They fixed that so the car could get it. But what I'm trying to say is, you was regular talking about what the Democrats did, but we just can't put everything on the Democrats. We got to put everything on exactly what it is: greed. Whoever up there in the office, whoever up there, Republican, Democrat, conservative, anybody, right wing, left wing, whatever kind of organization they want to say they are, and they get up there and they say what they're going to do one thing, but once they get up there, they start lining their pockets and milking the American.
Wow.
And for some reason, we concentrate on everything else, all this bickering about this and that and all kind of issues, but the main issue, they never say anything about it.
Well, that's true because they know most Americans, but they know most Americans are not informed. I guarantee most Americans don't know that we actually sending oil out the country at the same time buying oil from people to bring into the country. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, they've been doing it.
They make a pact with another country to buy their oil so they can help them stimulate their profit.
Right.
And they regular milking the American public left and right. So,
right.
And that's all they've been doing.
Yeah.
They started off another good episode here. This credit rating that they started. I remember back there years ago when they first started talking about credit rating.
Right. I remember.
And it's just,
I remember.
They set up everything, and I was telling people, I said, "Oh, you can have trouble on your hands now." And they looked at me like I was crazy. And now look what they done with this credit rating. If you have a bad, then they make you have, they fix you up. So if you're a little bit slow and illiterate, they gonna jail you. You have a bad.
That's true. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for contributing this morning to our conversation. But I'll tell you about somebody who don't care nothing about your credit in a few minutes here. Anyway, Paul is with us this morning. Paul just came in and hang out and talk with us.
Yeah, I'm hanging out. I'll tell you what, you hit the hard issues, and you got some great listeners.
Yeah. We hit the tough. We hit issues that everybody else won't.
Yeah, I don't know if we talk about gas too much at the mix.
Because we all got gas.
we all do. We all need it. I tell you what, I got half a tank yesterday, and the price of a full tank a couple of weeks ago. So
I got you. I had some gas on the way in this morning.
Well, I don't need to know that.
I mean, we talking about gas. I'm just saying we all got some, you know. But I don't think I've ever seen. See, I was in the Army. I joined the military when President Carter, and they dogged Carter. I got to tell you, we often say, I think President Jimmy Carter was an honorable man. I still think he is. He's about 90, almost 100 now. But The problem I got with Biden, I don't think he's honorable or got any sense of. The things we're doing, not just him, but the things we're doing in America right now. We want to turn. I've often said that one of the reasons why America's always prospered because we said we believed in God. I mean, that's all. I think that's part of the fact. We won't get to the slavery thing and the segregation. We won't get into that because men always do wrong things because we are men. But for the most part, we all believe in a higher power. I don't know as a nation if we believe in a higher power anymore.
I think we believe in a nominal figure, a nominal God, a nominal superior being that we have formed together in our mind. I don't know if it's something that is not that, success has become a God, I think, and the American ideal has become a God, I think, and so we look toward that and we say, we check mark our values, but that could change. It's subjective. It's not always like it is. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, we can change those. We can be flexible with that. And I think that's a testament to generations, how generations change. And I just realized, man, you're really old. If you in the 70s, you went in?
Yeah,
Okay.
75.
Okay.
As a matter of fact.
Well, you got some experience then.
Yeah, a little bit. This is the only job in the world where getting older is good for you. As long as your mind stays right.
It's acceptable because we don't have to see your face. But you you do a video though.
Yeah.
So.
Well, but you remember things. You remember the lies that they told a long time ago to cover up the lie they told right before that, and then I have no tolerance for Bravo Sierra. So you're a preacher, so I can't.
But I will say this: people's memory, it does fade, it does change, and also we remember incorrectly sometimes.
That's true.
We misremember, I think.
The one thing about getting older is that you do forget what you were like when you were younger. I try to remember that because when I get on young folks, sometimes I have to remember that I at one point was young, and I did stupid things, and like we all have. Sure. We do stupid things, but the difference between this, I often, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, if you believe in right and wrong, that at least limits some of the things that you're willing to do.
Again, it is subjective. It is subjective with each generation from what they were taught from their parents, from what they were taught in the culture, between what is right and wrong.
You think right and wrong is subjective?
I definitely believe that people believe that. Along the way, we learn values, we learn from our mistakes, we learn from other people's mistakes of what is right and wrong. But ultimately, it comes down to faith and believing in the right and wrong, not from what man has said, but from what God has said, what is right and wrong.
And I don't think that's subjective. Now, I'm more afraid of a guy who don't believe in right and wrong than I am a guy who does wrong and knows right. Because if you're willing to admit that there's a right and wrong, then that puts limits on you. Or else why even broach it? Why even worry about it? What's right and wrong? So it does put something right now, like a 12-year-old kid the other day in Michigan goes into a gas station and robs people. 12 years old, shoots a gun up in there. I mean, who would think of such a thing in America? 12 years old, and the whole gun thing. You can kill people with a rock. I mean, David and Goliath showed us that. So it's not the gun, it's the people.
Yeah, I think it's the people, and also what tools you put in people's hands,
right?
Or what ideas or ideals you put in people's heads. I mean, it's a result of culture. It's a result of the fall of man. It's a result of a lot of things. But we get ourselves into a lot of messes because each generation changes from one to the next, and we.
But who changes them? Who changes the generation?
You're changing them right now. Your generation from the 70s when you went to the military to the 20s or 2020s today, it has shifted and changed, and you're part of that change. You're part of helping your generation has changed that in some way or.
We're trying to change it, revert it back to something, because right now everything goes. I mean, it's what you feel. I mean, this whole we actually want to take our children now and turn them into girls and boys when they're born exactly the opposite.
No, that's a whole other issue.
Yeah, I mean, who ever heard of such a thing? I heard a doctor say the other day, and somebody asked her, well, at what age should we allow children to change gender? Well, she said, well, you know, babies, when they're born, they know what sex they are. I said, really? Okay, then. Okay. Who's this? Hello. Morning.
I heard you and your guest talking about guns and children. Did you hear about the case here in Montgomery a few days ago?
No, what happened?
Was, of course, news media. Put out there, but you can find out further details because you have the ability to do that. But a little boy, about 4 or 5 years old, was in a house full of people. He's crawling around on the floor, according to one of the witnesses, and he picks up a gun. It just happened to be laying on the floor. It was loaded. And he shot himself in the head with it. And his said-to-be father takes him to one of the local hospitals and drops him off and says he may need some aid.
Really?
That child's at UAB now with bullet fragment in his head, and
how in the world did I miss that? Yeah, how in the world did I miss that? I didn't hear that.
Check around. You can find out the details, because that kind of stuff goes on, and it doesn't fit the narrative. But the gun was left there. The gun didn't crawl out of a drawer. Didn't get, and multiple people were in the house when the little boy shot him. Allegedly shot himself with the gun. But anyway, I just think we need more responsible people with guns. It's not the gun, it's the people that allow access to guns or don't control guns.
Well, that's true. I mean, again, you know, you can nobody ever blames an automobile for the car accident. They blame the guy that's driving. So.
I know you got a lot of inside tracks, but I was talking to a police officer yesterday, and it just really, I can't believe they're doing this, but he passed on to me that after you work a 40-hour week and you want to go home and be with your family, you get called up on your off day to go sit over in front of the mayor's house. Lack of officers. So everybody's getting a piece of the pie. So after you pulled your 40-hour, not your regular assignment now, this is not a regular assignment. This is after you pulled your regular detail, your work detail, get off duty, go home, and you're on your off day, you're required to come in and sit over and babysit the mayor.
Now, I'm a reasonable guy. And so, and many things have been said that didn't quite turn out to be as it was announced. So I would like to really get some validation on, because it doesn't seem reasonable to me. You work your 40 hours a week and then they make you work some more. That just doesn't make sense. I mean, we could hire a retired policeman to do that, I guess. So are we sure this is something that actually happens, or is this somebody with a vendetta against the mayor?
Well, he passed the information on to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, why can't? I said, I don't see any officers on the street. And I said, look, I don't see anybody on the street enforcing, writing traffic tickets, or
Mm-hmm.
doing anything. I said, where is everybody? He said, well, we don't have anybody. He said, and when we do have them, they get pulled on these details. And I said, what kind of detail are you talking about? He said, like the mayor's detail. Now, of course, Henry Palmer had somebody sitting out in front of his house because his car got shot up when he shut down the massage parlors in town.
Right, I remember that.
Remember
Yeah.
But anyway, and if you're assigning somebody on their regular shift, but you wonder why you can't keep people down there. I mean, it's not the big thing.
But now we got a new police chief now. You know, and I keep hearing about this 21st century, the 21st century methodology that is being used. So again, I want to check this out though, because again, a lot of things have been said and told to people, you know, that don't quite ferret out later on. And again, I don't know. I mean, there's some people probably don't like the mayor, and I don't agree with all the things he said, but if we're going to assign a blame to somebody, we need to make sure that's exactly true, because it doesn't seem it doesn't pass the smell test. Right, I do. Yeah, I hang out with the big wigs. Yeah.
You hang out with the big wigs.
Yeah, I will.
If you get the opportunity, find out and see if that's credible information, because the officer that told me, I said, I just can't believe that.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Even you know, you wonder about that. You know, is that? And I wonder about that too. But I'll see. You know, we'll see. I'll even call the mayor's office and see what he says. All right. Yeah, you know I will. Yeah, you know I will. Yeah. See, now when I first got this job, see, I took that and ran with it. So I'm not going to run with it anymore. I mean, people say things, you know. I mean, whether or not you like our current mayor or anything like that, I disagree with him, but I like him. But I'm not going to, you know. Come on, let us ferret out the truth from fiction. All right. And it must pass the reason and logic test that I put forth. Okay. Anyway, don't forget, this part of our show has been brought to you by none other than J.O. Lane Truck and Auto. Okay. Are you looking for a car or an SUV for yourself, or as a graduation present for some of your kids or your grandkids, or for an employee who's been with you through the thick and thin, and when things were tough, and they still hanging there with you after all these years? You know, do you want to do something nice for them? Here's what you need to do. Everybody likes a good car, okay? JL Lane Truck and Auto, which is located at 208 Gun Road in Montgomery. But here's the number: 272-4313. And you can finance there, you can buy there, you can pay there. They got some great cars, okay? And you want to look at them before you go over there, okay? You can go to jllanetruckandauto.com, okay? jllanetruckandauto.com, one word, okay? But the dot means period, dot, you know, com. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you can look at the inventory that they have there. You can look at it. It's good stuff. And you don't have to leave your house. And here's the number, okay? 272-4313. 272-4313. Ask for Steve. Great bunch of cars. And I'm gonna, when I come back in the next hour, I'm gonna give you a list of some of the things that they have on the lot. Then you can go look at them and see if it's something you might want. Again, you don't need great credit or anything like that, but you do need, you know, to have income, a little bit coming in. And you go down there and you talk to the folks at J.O. Lane Truck and Auto. Again, located at 208 Gun Road in Montgomery. But here's the number: 272-4313. 272-4313. All right. So we'll be back after our last break here of the hour. So don't y'all go no place, okay? Again, this part of our show been brought to you by J.L. Lane Truck and Auto.
First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Indeed.com. Second half of the year looking busier than the first? Hire with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
A few scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Overall coverage is not to the point where everyone is.
Well, you called me while I was on the air.
Opportunity for your Wednesday to see some of those showers. For those that stay dry though, low and mid 90s will dominate the forecast. We'll keep low end rain chances in the forecast Thursday before we bump them back up Friday into Friday night. Looks like we'll be drying out and maybe stay a little bit cooler in the upper 80s for the weekend.
Okay.
And that's your first alert forecast. I'm WSFA meteorologist Amanda Curran.
467-6070.
Montgomery Skywalk traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker.
67.
News Radio 1440.
Right.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got two accidents, 65 northbound just past the Cusana exit and 65 southbound just south of the Cobbs Ford Road exit. So be prepared for two problems on 65 this morning, north and southbound. Also in Prattville, we've got an accident, Fairview at Edgewood, the 2000 block of Jackson Ferry here in Montgomery, 231 south, just past the River Bridge before you get to Anderson, and Atlanta Highway in front of the Chevron. The most recent accidents reported now by the authorities. Summertime fun begins at Midtown Plaza. Shop Shoe Carnival, Cato, Cricket Wireless, Young America Insurance, and more. Midtown Plaza and Street off of I-85, another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
Attention River Region listeners, take advantage of 4 new tires with no money down at Chico's Auto Pros, Montgomery's #1 rated tire store. Chico's Auto Pros.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
I was looking for Miss McDermott, but evidently this is the work man. That's
890-6688.
All right, thanks.
800-890-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
The City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs is calling all creative minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons.
Hey, Mickey,
of the arts.
this is Kevin. Don't forget to tell you I have to call us tomorrow whenever and talk a little bit more about the camp celebration thing. Okay, just come on inside tomorrow.
We'll take concrete technologies. For years, you've heard me talking about our concrete projects, from stamped and patterned concrete to foundations for commercial manufacturing, driveways to commercial parking lots, even heavily invested in polished concrete for durable and inexpensive long-term service. What you may not know is we have equipment for clearing lots for construction, clearing and ridding land of scrub and underbrush. We cut roads, clear fence lines, clear pond dams, and pretty much any application where land is overgrown. We have mulchers that can grind underbrush into shreds and return it to nature for compost. Our equipment is minimally invasive, not disturbing and upturning your property where additional grading might be necessary. To clean or clear your property, call Penny Earth at 334-284-9292 and let us transform your overgrown property into a manageable and productive one. Check us out on Facebook at Transformers or call 334-284-9292.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson, providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3600. 3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMensHealth.com.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. The price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
It's Dan Bongino, every weekday from 2 till 5 p.m. right here on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Every mile or so, don't make.
Okay. The numbers are 860-1440. If you've got something on your mind you want to say, don't forget about Camp Celebration. That is Saturday, June the 11th, which is this Saturday at Riverwalk Stadium. Camp Celebration provides children, teens, and their families with an opportunity to learn coping skills that they can use during ongoing grief process. This is a celebration of life, and a way to help kids get through things that happen to them when somebody dies. And the ages, and it starts at 11:30. Registration begins at 11:30, and camp begins at noon, and I believe it's going to be from noon until 3:30. Okay. Now, if you want to know more about it, if somebody just died, and look like around here, somebody always dying. But kids have a hard time dealing with grief. Sometimes they don't know how to do it, and even up to 16 years old, you wonder why that happened. There's just things that they help you with. If you can still get in the volunteer thing if you want to. Give Mr. McDermott, Mona McDermott, a call, 747-5000. That's 747-5000. Camp Celebration is presented by Baptist Hospice. For more information, again, contact Mona McDermott. She's the bereavement coordinator. 747-5000. That's not a cell phone. That is a landline. Okay. Registration begins at 11:30 this Saturday, and the camp goes from noon until 3:30 at Riverwalk Stadium. Or bring your kids from all over Alabama if you need to, but let somebody help them deal with the issue of grief. Because me personally, I'm still dealing with grief. My sister. These are things that just don't go. And when if it bothers you when you're an adult, of course it bothers you. When you have, I do a speech here called "It's a Great Day to Be Alive," and this kid got in all kinds of trouble because he didn't understand why his mother left him. And he started doing all kind of crazy things. Maybe you guys want to, maybe you might want to think about somebody may need some help. Anyway, starts on this Saturday at noon until 3:30. It's called Camp Celebration. All right. All right then. What else is going on? Anything else? 860-1440 is the number here. You want to give us a call and talk to you. The president decided to invoke the Defense Production Act to implement the new Green Deal. They keep trying to push electric cars. Does anybody know how electric is made? Does anybody know how we make electric? You do realize that it takes fuel to make electricity. You do realize that, right? Everybody realizes, right, that we're and the average car, the average electric car is $56,000. That's the average. So you're going to have a car that don't take any gas. Well, that's okay, because you won't be able to afford to drive the car, and so you won't need gas anyway. So, are we that have our leaders become that stupid? There is fuel involved in the creation of electricity. Okay, are we really that dumb? Are we really following AOC? I mean, there's fuel. We are not going to get away from fossil fuels totally. Okay, but as you go across Texas and you run out of electricity, you'll be all right then. Trust me, you'll want a Ford F-150 with some gas in it. Good morning, who's this? Yes.
Hey, I'm so glad that you put that fact out that you thought nobody else knew, but quite a few people did know that we import just as much, we export just as much new oil as the electricity that we bring in. And it's all about greed. It's all about corporations. It's all about tax breaks. You know, if we really wanted to be America first, that's where we started. That's what Trump should have started. I agree with what he did with these H-1N1 visas because that stopped a lot of people coming over here taking jobs that they said Americans wouldn't take. But you know, a lot of IT jobs were being
absolutely.
And those are high-paying jobs. We you know, sometimes people let us try to make us think, well, they just want somebody to pick the fruit and stuff like that. But no, those visas were going out for jobs that Americans wanted and desired. They just didn't have the education for it.
Yeah.
But you were saying about electric cars, Kevin, think about it. For as much as you drive, an electric vehicle would benefit you. Hear me out. With the tax incentive and the tax break, Kevin, you can set up a solar array, a cheap solar array that you can buy from Harbor Freight and a couple of batteries to produce enough energy to charge your vehicle up for what you use it for every day.
If I'm only in the city, right? If I'm only driving in the city, you're probably right. But $56,000, the average price of an electric car, who's going to be able to afford that?
What's the average price of a car right now?
Well, if you got it, I don't know about.
Close to the same thing.
No, about depends on what you drive. Kias ain't no $56,000.
Okay, you have electric cars that are on the low end that do not go 300 miles per charge. They go up roughly 150 miles per charge.
Yeah.
$30,000 or $35,000. That's usually what most people drive a day. If you look at the real numbers, look at all the numbers out there, Kevin. Think about how many miles you drive per day. And most people in Montgomery area and most metropolitan areas do not drive that far.
Okay, now
what we have is we don't have a lot of public transportation.
That's true. Okay, so let's I can see putting the buses on electric rather than cars because that's public transportation. And so I got no problem. But what happens when the sun doesn't come out, when it storms, when it gets freezing cold like it did in Texas last year, and people are freezing inside their own home because the grid was gone because the wind wasn't blowing and it was cold as hell outside?
Well, Kev, just think about it. If people started harnessing solar power, how much would that alleviate off of the grid? How much would that help?
How is it right? But how is it? Right, but how is it? Right. Right. But it's my understanding that electricity is power is made by fossil fuels. It takes some engine to run the electric process. Hey, I gotta we talk about I gotta go, my time's up. We'll be back.
And I still can hear him say,
your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jed Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Wednesday. An emotional meeting in the Montgomery County Commission after hearing Chairman Elton Dean Sr. died. He served on the commission for more than 20 years. He passed away Tuesday morning at the age of 72. Recently, the county commission named a park after the longtime commissioner. Elton N. Dean Senior Park sits on 15 acres on the west side of Montgomery. Some national news: recently, a 12-year-old fired a gun while robbing a gas station in Michigan and got away with thousands of dollars in cash. He fired the shot into the ceiling. Nobody was hurt. Police say he got the gun from a locked cabinet at home after prying it open. Police say the shooter was later arrested. Back here in Montgomery, our Summer Fun and Food Drive is this Saturday from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Renfro's Market on East Chase Parkway. We'll be collecting money and non-perishable food items. We will have station employees and folks out there to help you off dropping off your money or canned food items. Please come out and join us for our Summer Fun and Food Drive this Friday. That's your news. I'm Jed Davis.
News Radio 1440 WLWI AM, the home of Sean Hannity. Also on 95.1 HD3 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There will be impassioned pleas in Washington today to pass new gun control laws after mass shootings in Buffalo and Uvalde, Texas. Correspondent Scott McFarland.
Here on Capitol Hill this morning, a fourth grader who survived the Uvalde shooting after smearing a classmate's blood on her body. She'll testify before a House panel, and so will the parents of a girl slain at that school. A very personal push directed at Congress.
Senators involved in the gun control negotiations warn a breakthrough could take time if they reach one at all. 90 former gymnasts, including Olympians Simone Biles, Aly Raisman, and Kayla Maroney, are suing the FBI for $1 billion. They allege the agency didn't do enough to stop former Team USA Dr. Larry Nassar from sexually abusing young patients. CBS's Nancy Chen spoke with John Manley, one of the attorneys representing the victims.
Do you think that more young women and girls would have been protected if the FBI had acted sooner?
Well, we know that. He was seeing 8 to 10 patients a day, sometimes 15. And molesting them, little girls.
Migration takes center stage when President Biden hosts a meeting of leaders from the Western Hemisphere. Correspondent Steve Futterman has details from L.A.
The summit will kick into full gear today as President Biden arrives here. Already one of the issues taking center stage is migration. It comes as a caravan of several thousand migrants in Mexico is walking towards the U.S. During the summit, it's expected a Los Angeles declaration will be announced, which will help guide countries on how to deal with migrants fleeing violence in their own countries.
CDC says a couple of new Omicron subvariants, BAs 4 and 5, are quickly gaining ground in the U.S. White House COVID coordinator Dr. Ashish Jha tells CBS Mornings.
The number of infections that are out there, we don't ever have the flu where we get hundreds of thousands of people getting infected every day. This is a lot of infections, so we still got to work on that.
The CDC says monkeypox can be transmitted just like COVID. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
While they do acknowledge the virus can be airborne, they believe the risk to the general public is very low.
31 cases of monkeypox have now been reported in 12 states and Washington, D.C. In Germany, police say the man who drove a car into a crowd of shoppers in Berlin was a 29-year-old German-American. Reporter Anna Nowerskayovitz is there.
We still don't know if this is intentional, or this was an intentional attack, like the Christmas market attack in 2016. One person was killed, 8 others were injured, some of them seriously.
This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Ground Zero. Man, you and that stupid mask. What's up with that?
You owe the IRS.
That's what, y'all scared.
That's what I'm going to call you. The IRS has giant
Ground Zero.
He's actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think
I think they got a name for a show like that already.
it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice.
No.
Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works
Can you
to stop the
complain?
demand letters, stop the aggressive
See, there's
collection
crazy
actions,
people around
and
the
stop
world
the
still
IRS
bragging
collectors
like
from
Herman
targeting
too.
you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start
What
initiative.
you
One of the
think?
biggest breaks the IRS
Stand
has
out over
ever
that black-
offered. If you qualify, you
that
could save
blackness
thousands,
jumping out of that
and nobody
plane
knows
tonight.
this
Hey.
program better than they do. Optima
Sometimes you
is
gotta
a
do what you
program
gotta do.
that zero.
I'm serious. What did you think? I mean, I was scared every time I did it.
How many times did you do it for their clients?
Fuck
Get a fresh start.
Are you
Call
serious?
today for your
Oh, that ain't nothing to it.
I know.
That's yeah, I got
6460
700.
343
That's
6460
That's
343
Does it ever get in it? To me, it didn't. It was always scary. I just, but you know, you gotta do things in life. You know, you gotta take chances in life if you want to get somewhere. So
Where'd you get? I mean,
created a wrongful conviction
Well,
unit, got rid
I
of
got
cash
patience.
bail. To charge a police officer for
I didn't starve. Hey,
manslaughter. Reporter Megan Goldstein with our affiliate KCBS.
Hope for criminal justice reform and a society that's not as focused on jail and prison, DA Chesa Boudin told the crowd gathered at the Ramp restaurant in Mission Bay. The election may not have gone their way, but he says
We've already won.
Oh,
We are
yeah.
part of a
That's-
national movement that recognizes
That's the real deal.
we
Because
can
those
never
guys,
incarcerate our way out
Somebody tried to shoot him down.
Yeah, what they did. I mean, he did. I mean, but he was a helicopter pilot. But he went and he rescued his group, you know.
Okay.
Being more educated on what he does.
A helicopter.
And the percentage will rise up.
He didn't answer shouts from reporters asking if he may run again. The next DA election for the city is next year.
Opponents say his policies led to rising crime rates. Deborah
Help guys get
Rodriguez,
on the plane,
CBS
got
News.
everybody off. They flew out of there, came in smoking. You know.
Are often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or wearing stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic
My
insufficiency.
dad, he was in the army. He boxed and played ping pong and cooked. He said he
prescription medication that replaces
He did all he could to stay out of the field. You know.
Well, anybody who wants to get shot at,
I know, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why it's crazy. That's why it's a veterans thing. Y'all should.
you know, in Pearl Harbor, Pearl Harbor, the guy who shot down the first enemy plane was cooked.
Was really? Yeah, jumped on that gun.
Yeah. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna take it out."
I know that's right.
I mean, you want some things or not?
Yeah.
That you had me back.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, that's what make me feel bad, man.
I wanted to make you feel bad.
I needed them. I need them.
Good idea.
I need them.
Okay.
I'm the type of, you know what I'm saying? I need them, so. All your help is greatly appreciated.
That is why I recommend gold.
How your children doing?
Oh, fine, I guess. You know. I got 115 and
Does your
131.
15-year-old think he might want to come to the high-tech academy?
He has. I mean, he's good. I mean, I got me. He got me.
They got a chance to meet. I mean, you know.
But that's true too, though.
You get a chance to
And
meet.
it's starting on the
top. And next week, next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're going every second, third, and fourth week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday each week.
I'll bring him back just. Yeah, I'll bring him back just.
Yeah, because he gets a chance to meet. I mean, because I'm gonna have some programmers.
He do need to meet some more people.
Criminal justice people.
And what time is it gonna be from?
It's gonna be from 8:30 to 1.
Yeah. I'll bring him back. I never knew about it. You need to get out of the house. Meet some kids with initiative.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do droning and, you know, that type of stuff.
My son.
3D imagery, how to do things.
Hell of a drone.
Is he really? Maybe you can come and help.
My older one. That's how he makes a living.
Well, the insurance company?
No, he does it for weddings and things like that.
Now, you know, if he does it for insurance adjustment, he goes to a whole nother level. Yeah, that's how they do it. Like my cousin, the insurance adjuster in Florida, and he hired his son. He makes like 80 grand a year. I mean, because all you do is fly the drone over the plane.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can go inside the house and scan around. You can do like 3D pictures, you know, all throughout the house and stuff. That's what we're going to show, you know, how that's done.
Oh, okay. Good. All right.
That's all. He's not even there.
No. Okay. Every other person. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Let me first of all tell you about this part of our show has been brought to you by none other than J.O. Lane Truck and Auto. If you're looking for a car, you're looking for you're tired, you want to turn in those heels for some wheels. I didn't come up with that. Somebody else did, but it still feels good. I'm gonna give attribution. I don't want anybody to say I'm, parodying or whatever words they use. But a new sponsor. This hour been brought to you by J.O. Lane Truck and Auto. Okay, if you need a car or an SUV, okay, for yourself or for a graduation present, unless you got 10 kids, I know you can't, get them all one, but get one at a time. Okay, this is what you need to do. You need to pick up that phone, call 272-4313. Now, if you want to see the inventory that Mr. Lane has over there, great cars. I'll give you a list of his cars during the next break, so you'll know what he got over there on the line. But you can go to JL Lane Trucking and Auto, and you can look at the inventory. Really, they got a beautiful Lexus over there. I mean, if I wasn't so old, I'd be over there trying to get that Lexus. But I'm too old to be riding around like I'm young, so I'm gonna deal with the little car that I got, so everybody know I'm broke. Okay, but if you don't want everybody to know you broke and you want to ride that Lexus, I'm just saying you need to go over there and take a look at the car. Black, shiny, just a fantastic looking car. And don't worry about your credit. Mr. Lane will help take care of you. You buy there and you pay there. Okay, so 272-4313. They're located on Gun Road That's 208 Gun Road in Montgomery, okay? 272-4313. Ask for Steve, okay? And again, the website is JL Lane Truck and Auto.com. What a great bunch of people they got over there, okay? Ask for Steve, okay? Now, you call them and tell them you may not need a car right now, but when you need one, you're going to be the first person on, they're going to be the first person on your list to buy one from. Again, that number again is 272-4313. But go to JL, let me check, JL Lane Truck and Auto.com and look at the inventory. And I'll tell you some of the things they got on there during our next break. But right now, we have a young man in here with us. Dr. White is with us. They got a nice little project going on starting next week.
Right, next week.
Start next week. You tell them what it is.
Okay. What we're having a high-tech academy at our church, which is Montgomery City of Refuge. It's located 3820 Woodley Road. And for the next 3 weeks, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of each week, which is the 13th through the 15th, the 20th through the 22nd, and the 27th through the 29th, we're going to have speakers to come and to do instruction on some of the top informational and technological skills, that are marketable today, like metaverse and avatar and how to build video games and how to do droning and 3D imagery. We have someone from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation that's going to come and talk about how technology plays a role, in what they do. We're going to have an attorney to talk about how to start a business, in case the young people who are interested, in starting a business. So we're also going to do talks on personal development and those types of things. And if you have teenagers, that are older middle school kids or high school, this would be good for them. Also, if you're in the industry and you want to swing by and just stick your head in and, maybe have a resume in hand, the old school way, these are the people that are coming are the people, to get in touch with, because they either own companies or high ups, in companies that have agreed to come down and donate their time and, their software and hardware for what it is that we're doing.
It is not that the workplace, we don't have jobs. It is that the job market has changed.
Absolutely.
And either you change with it, okay? No longer can you just walk out the house and get a common laborer job, because there's a good chance that we got a computer or we got a robot doing that job now. And I will tell you one thing, learn how to fix the robot. Trust me, you're going to always have a job.
Oh, Kevin, absolutely. I mean, what the least we can do, is educate our children, and to provide them with the skills that they need, not only to survive, but to advance. And so not every kid, is the same. So you're going to have different personalities, different skill levels, aptitude levels, and so forth. And technology is the great equalizer. I mean, it puts everybody, on the same keel. And you may have, let's say you have a student that's not doing well academically, they could come to High Tech Academy and learn skills, and that's actually the birth, of their academic performance. Because while they might not be able to function in a classroom too well, they may be able to function as, in those types of environments, which are different than the average learning environment. And we come to that conclusion because this program came about as a result of us rewarding the teenagers at our church for all of the work they do, because they set up our audio, they know how to manage all of those types of things. They set up our Facebook Live and, help manage our website. I mean, they take out the trash. I mean, they do it all. And they came alive the more technologically advanced we became.
We live in a different era
exactly,
now.
Exactly.
And it is not, and I think one of the disservices I believe that we actually do to our kids is limit them, which is why I got a problem with public schools sometimes. It limits them, like my son asked me one day, he asked me, well, why do I need to know about Mesopotamia? I said, that's a good question. Let's go. I mean, but
it's still there. I mean, it's just a different name.
That's a different name, right.
The people that are there now were not the people that were there probably in the ancient times that he's talking about.
Right. But kids today, they're more relevant oriented than than philosophical.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And what is the relevance of me learning about what happened in Mesopotamia some thousands of years ago?
But Kevin, I would say they're philosophical too. It's just the having the opportunity, you know, because one of the top debaters in the country, his name is Sadhu Al-Duwaka. He is his family's from Sri Lanka, but he's one of the top. He's like the Michael Jordan of debating.
Right.
So he's going to come and do a session on debating.
Now that I like that, because to be a great debater is
he's one of the best.
Did you ever watch the movie The Great Debater?
I did.
Yeah, outstanding. Now what bothered me with the great debaters, if what they portrayed was true, having knowledge can get you indoors that otherwise you can't go.
Absolutely, and that's it. But see, as human beings, as Ayn Rand said, that thinking is our main means of survival. I mean, she was right on point with that. And if we're not teaching our young people how to think, that's where the aggression comes in. You know, you get aggressive and you get agitated and become an agitator when you can't think. And so when
you're not expected to think.
Well, exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the expectation is that you're raising someone to intellectually be able to defend themselves. And when they can't do it, when they can't communicate properly, or don't know how to use the term, Kevin, that you reason and logic.
Right.
I mean, you see
my
what
friend.
I'm saying? Yeah.
And they got a cousin too called common sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all of that flies out of the window, and what is replaced with is emotion, sensation. You know what I'm saying?
And aggression.
Right? And so our young people are as aggressive as they are, in my opinion, as an educator, because a lot of them can't read and they know it. They know that they can't function in an intellectual environment, although they have the desire to. But if we don't create those environments to challenge them, mentally,
we are sentencing them to irrelevance.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have to ask the question: how does someone who feels irrelevant act? You know,
exactly.
And then that's when you get the group think in the group dynamics, because one of the things that Sandhu is going to talk about is individualism versus group. You know, are you? And that's a question of responsibility. Are you responsible to the group first, or to yourself first? Now, see, that's very important.
And that's one of the things I've never liked. I know you're going to like this. That's one thing I've never liked about the Democratic Party. It's about the group and not the individual. It's about which group do you belong to, in my mind. Individuals make groups.
Right.
Groups don't make individuals.
But that's a philosophy, right? Which could be tossed out of the Democratic Party. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. It could be tossed out anywhere, but it has to be challenged and proven, and understand that before you can even join an association, which is, you know, a political term for what we call a group, you have to know who you are first and have interests that you have to protect. And as thinking human beings, the first interest that we have is thought.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to be able to perpetuate our thoughts.
And if you don't believe that learning how to think is important, everything we see, just about everything we do, started as a thought.
Absolutely.
With somebody.
Absolutely.
Now you can either be the thinker or the thinky.
Right.
But you're going to be one of them.
Right. So the kids are able to use technology to create, you know, and that's where, you know, those juices start to flow that activate.
Outstanding. Good morning. Who's this? Okay. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah.
Group dynamics. Nobody talks about group dynamics. If you get yourself straight as far as, you know, when we talk about those issues on your program, who was the Dr. Wright group? And that'll straight to that'll kind of clear some things. Because with group dynamics, you find out who you are. And not to talk about somebody to put them down, but once you find out who you are and that God made you special and that you are special, like Dr. White said, there's a challenge in them, not you do the Democratic Party thing in there.
You know, it is what it is.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
it is what it is.
If you want to see a group think, look on the other side of the aisle. That's group think. You know, if you really want to talk about group think, but that's for another show.
Yeah, that's because you and I can have that conversation all day long. Hey, I appreciate the call, but again, your program will be for 3 weeks.
Yeah. We're gonna start on next Monday. We're gonna go Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right? First part of the week, because people travel and those types of things.
Right.
We're not gonna compete with travel ball and all of those types of things. So we're gonna go Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the next 3 weeks, and we're gonna go from 8:30 to
starting this coming Monday.
Right, this coming Monday.
So they don't take very long. 8:30 to 1. You get up, you have a little breakfast, come on out there, and you'll be done before you know it.
Right.
And you can go out to do the rest of your things. And 3 days a week ain't gonna hurt you, especially if you ain't got a job. No, you know
Exactly.
Now I hate to ask this question because y'all feeding lunch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Woo. Okay, that brings a brother.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know because
we got some good cooks, Kevin. Okay. It's like a restaurant opened up a church.
Okay. Well, that's good. Now, is there a number where people can call you to?
Well, the best place to get registered is to go to our website.
Okay.
www.coralive.org. That's coralive.org, and just click the Summer High Tech Academy info button, and you can register.
Okay.
So we
got so that's Charlie Oscar Romeo.
Right.
City of Refuge.
Live.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And go there.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so
students
are already doing it. I mean, we're getting we're almost at capacity. So.
Okay. Do you need any more contributors?
Kevin, absolutely. I mean, the outpouring of support has been amazing.
Because we finally introducing our kids to something besides basketball and football.
Well, sure, because they can do much more.
Right.
I mean, the potential of our young people is amazing. And like I said, the youth at our church, they're not the church of tomorrow. They're the church of today.
Right.
I mean, and when one of those jokers is out sick or,
now my
is gone somewhere, you can see the difference because they know what they do.
And I'm going to tell you to put everything in perspective. I was thinking about putting Z in another school because he just gave me the blues about being at Lee this year. But when he found out that Lee has they're going to have something called an IT academy or something like that, he became interested in going there.
And Lee has one of the top debating teams in the state. They do. As a matter of fact, Sandu, who is the son of one of my best friends and colleagues over at Alabama State, right? He went to Prattville. And Prattville was like number 2, and Robert E. Lee was on up there too, either number 1 or somewhere. And they had a battle like you wouldn't believe.
Now, I would love to hear that.
I mean,
they don't tell me about. They don't really tell us about these things.
Rico Cox at JD's debate team and their I think there's either a debate team or moot court or they have those kids are awesome. And we also have a project at our church run by Miss Crystal Russell. Who does the same thing with people to teach them how to debate and those types of things, which is awesome to see too. But we've got to begin to put more emphasis on academics because as long as
and not nonsensical academics that make you think, that make you that makes you reach conclusions based on the evidence that's available
the scientific method.
Right. And rather than this where I go to the store sometimes, I see grown men moving cans around. I said that's just something to be doing here.
Well, but with education, what education does is it teaches you the scientific method. It teaches you various levels of decision making. That's what it's supposed to do. And so it's not just the school's responsibility. Private enterprise has a lot to do with what goes on because they have to understand, and I don't know if they appreciate it like they should, the relationship between education and economics. Because there's a big, I mean,
there's the relationship.
I mean, it is, but why would you not invest in something? Say like, okay, you look at JD, Lee, and Lanier, right? And and Carver too. But I want to use those because if you go back 25 years, most of those alum are Caucasian people. They're not black. I mean, black started to come in, but you still have existing a large number of people that went to JD who were Caucasian, right? And I got a point to make. And what jobs did they do or do? What wealth do they have, right? and how can they contribute to their school, although it's all black now. You see what I'm saying? Because if it's your school, regardless of what color it is, right? If there was a way to synergize the then and the now, you know, if there was a way for Lee to say, if you're a graduate of Lee, we need you back here and we need you contributing in this way, right? Or those alums can define how they're going to do it, because, you know, some people say, well, we want to get to the school system because, I mean, bureaucracy and all that type of stuff. Well, there are ways around that. I mean, there are ways to boost the school and to boost, you know, the experience overall, but we can't have this spirit of division, you know, to where that, you know, I can no longer identify with this. If you show up and for some people, you know, them bringing their wallet is the best means of representation.
That's true.
But here again, Kevin, like the people who've given to this program, they understand that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they're not offended when you ask them for money, because they know what they're there for. I mean, they understand that. It's just showing, it just, you know, proving the
Well,
point,
you are doing something that I even though I've never verbalized it, it was always in the back of my mind. You are changing the paradigm of what the future holds for some of our kids. I never will forget my mother. I lived down the street from the University of Notre Dame, right down the road from Notre Dame. And all I remember being said was, well, you can't go to that school. That's their school. And so a guy who lives down the street from university, now, academically, I may not have been capable of attending that school, but I never tried, because all I ever heard was,
you can't do it.
You can't do it.
Right.
And I'm, well, okay, so I just.
But what's the connection? The connection is thought. You see what I'm saying? Because although there may be barriers put in place, I mean, hard barriers.
Right. And there are some
that will prevent you from going to that school.
Right.
Here's the thing, Kevin. It is not so much to go to the school, but to know what they know. See, if you know what other people know, you will not feel inferior.
Right, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not going to feel inferior to anybody if you know what they know.
You know what they
know.
know.
With our young people, they know that they don't know what they need to know. And that in and of itself creates an inferiority complex.
Right. Means that if they know what they don't know, then they also know what they need to know.
And then here they look at this. They'll say this: my teachers are not teaching me things that I
need
to know.
I hear that all the time.
So therefore, the whole system is not credible. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing. You know, we're bringing this information to the young people. They know what to do with it once they get it. You know. But I just want to thank those people who have agreed to come. And, you know, if the public wants to come and just listen to the presentations that some of these people have, because, I mean, you know, I'm going to say these are some top-notch people.
Yeah,
and
sounds like it.
They're subject to come down in a spaceship or something. Well, and do that lecture or presentation and leave, you know.
Well, now I know why I'm not on the speaking list.
Well, no,
I mean, no. Listen. It is what it is. I don't belong in the same group of those people. Okay.
Actually, you do. As a matter of fact, because you said
no. I'm coming to learn. I'm coming to learn.
What I'm saying?
I'm coming. Now they want to learn how to jump out airplane. I'm good. I can tell about that.
But like I said, you can learn a lot. And if you're young and you don't have a job, you know, because if you're young,
and you create your own job.
Exactly.
The nice thing about technology, you don't have to have a whole lot of money to do your own job.
And that's a part about the business part that Dr. Ashburn is going to do, because you can start your own independent contracting company, you know, to do techie type stuff.
Okay. Well, I got to go. I got to let you go. But I could give that website again where people can reach out.
Oh, yeah. It's www.coralive.org. Just click on the High Tech Summer button, info button, and send the register. My administrator will immediately get an email, and we'll contact the parent to talk.
Man, I have got to have you up here more often. I'm excited when I talk to you, and most people don't excite me when they come here and talk to you. But I like intellectually being challenged, because it gets you outside that box.
Right.
Even though you're different, I know who to get you.
Well,
so we get on that. We'll get on that another day.
Okay. All right.
We'll get on that another day.
I got you.
We'll be back.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right.
At least the Republicans are organized.
Yeah. Well, it's just the things Not the local folks. Not the local folks.
They would say you on an alternate route, traffic's getting returned to normal after some backups and slow down areas in Tri-County area. Right now, we're looking good. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Reinhardt Toyota on the East Boulevard. See their entire inventory and shop online at ReinhardtToyota.com. Buckle up, it's the law. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic. This is Baker Below.
Why are you driving around town on those old ball tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old ball and dangerous. For all your tire needs, Chico's Auto Pros, 239-9510.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
You know, they talk about with the recession a soft landing, and that's when, you know, they try and cool down the economy by raising interest rates, which the Fed is now currently doing. Too little, too late. They spent too much money. Joe caused a lot of it. Artificially reducing the world's supply of energy. That didn't help in any way, shape, manner, or form. It costs to ship everything to every store that we go to, we make purchases from. And they talk about, well, a recession with a soft landing and not having this be a long, protracted recession like we had in the Jimmy Carter years, which apparently Joe Biden is very, very angry that he's being compared to Jimmy Carter. I would take it a step further. I would say he's worse than Jimmy Carter.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
These days, you use your personal information to do just about everything, especially when you're online. With all that info just out there floating around, well, it can make the practical gold mine for these identity thieves. Wait, I take that back. That's not fair to gold miners. Mining is hard work, but stealing your identity is so dangerously easy in this day and age. LifeLock, they see the threats you miss on your own. If in fact your it's compromised, you get an alert. And if in fact your identity is stolen, you get a US-based dedicated restoration specialist that will fix it for you. No one can prevent all identity theft or money transaction, but you can make sure your identity theft protection starts right now and right here. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com. They have a low annual rate. If you use the promo code Hannity, you'll save an additional 25% off your first year. Protect your name, reputation, finances, and credit score. LifeLock.com, 1-800-LifeLock.
Segments with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, he plays back with humor too.
Joe and his gang.
It probably means you are going to have to cut out one of those more discretionary big things because you're still buying gas, you're still buying groceries, those things that are, you can't maybe buy 1 gallon less milk and for the most part,
Town, drink half of it and then fill back with
who doesn't do that? There's like 1% milk and 2%. I grew up with 40%.
All right.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month.
Okay.
I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. It must be health insurance company available elsewhere.
2022 is no time for beautiful windows in your home to be all covered up with the same blinds and shades you see in every home. And 2022 is definitely no time for cheap blinds and shades to leave your window saying, please don't cover me up with these ugly coverings. This is Ben with Just Blinds in Prattville. Seriously, our goal is to help deliver a custom look for your home to be loved and timeless for years to come. Visit Just Blinds showroom in Prattville today or online at gojustblinds.com.
Ron's Roofing knows that when a storm damages your roof, it's hard to know what to do next. Easy. Rely on the most trusted and recognized roofing name, Ron's Roofing. They'll help protect you from the next storm. Ron's Roofing understands that your roof is your home's first line of defense. That's why they work with all insurance companies to ensure that your home is protected from any unexpected storms. A job won't get the Ron's Roofing name on it unless it's done right. Visit ronsroofing.com or call 215-0070.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese or Russians don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
Do, 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 do. Welcome in, everybody. Hope this day finds you doing well. Good morning. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. Don't forget, our show has been brought to you in part by JL Lane Truck and Auto. Okay, what a great company to have. They are one of the premier pre-owned car dealers in the city of Montgomery. As a matter of fact, you can go to their website, which is jllanetruckandauto.com, all one word, jllanetruckandauto.com, all one word. And let me tell you something. You can find vehicles that fit whether you're a professional or whether you are a person who just needs a car for the kids, or you want a second car, you know, because the one you've been driving it like 14 years, and it may be time to get rid of it and get another one. You can find one. As a matter of fact, if you go to their website right now, you can find cars based on your own criteria. And let's say you want a Chevrolet, a Hyundai, a Nissan, a Dodge, a Jeep, a Ford, Lexus, GMC, Lincoln. You can go there and you can look at all of their inventory right now. Here's one. I love this one. A 2014 Jeep Patriot Latitude, 13.2. Here's another one. A Lexus RX 330, 12.8. A 2006 Ford F-250. That's a workhorse, 12.5. Okay. A 2003 Ford Explorer Base, 12.2. Just all kinds of nice little cars. 2009 GMC Canyon SLE 9.9. I mean, great cars you can get there. Here's one. I love this, the Nissan Xterra 5.8. Okay, I mean, you just got a bunch of cars over there you can get. 2012 Nissan Versa S 5.6. I'm just telling you, what a great, they got Lincolns, they got everything, every kind of car you need. That you can go there right now. They got nice, I don't see the Lexus, right, 12.8. You can't miss it. It looks outstanding car. You need to go. But if you go to the website, you can check it out, and it looks really nice. It's like an SUV. It looks really nice. Nice shine on it. Looks almost brand new. I'm just telling you, you might want to call those guys and go check them out. Okay. And again, that is JL Lane Truck and Auto. You want to give them a call, 272-4313. That's 272-4313. Ask for Steve. Okay, he'll help you out. Okay, but and if you don't need a car right now, I want you to call them up, tell them you heard about them on the air here, and that as soon as you have a need, they are going to be top of mind for you to get with that new car. Again, I want to thank our new sponsor, JL Lane Truck and Auto, for trusting us with their hard-earned money, because nobody's making money easy right now. With their hard-earned money, we appreciate them giving us confidence and trusting us to make sure, if nothing else, we let you know the great quality used cars that they have. And not only the quality used cars they have great service. And they got people that smile at you. Not a fake smile. Not a fake smile. No. Genuine smiles, and they genuinely want to help you get a car. Okay. And again, here's the most important thing. You can pay there and buy there. Okay. So if your credit been a little tarnished over the years, kind of like mine, you know, and you don't want to be judged for it, well, that's the place you want to go. JL Lane. Okay. JL Lane. Okay. Truck and Auto. The number again is 272-4313. 860-1440 number here. Want to give us a call, love, talk to you, whatever on your mind this morning. Good morning. Who's this? Pretty good.
Great company, Coach. They do have some excellent good cars, because I brought a car from them last year, and I'm going to get ready to buy one this year from them also.
Good. All right. Good. What's on your mind? Okay. What's good? Listen. No better endorsement than a current customer. 860-1440 number here. Want to give us a call, love, talk to you, whatever on your mind this morning. Let me see now. What else has happened lately? Birmingham, Alabama. The man killed, woman injured after police find a van riddled with bullet holes in Inslee. I know it's not Montgomery, but don't worry about it. Sooner or later, it'll come to a neighborhood near you. Hopefully, it won't be my neighborhood, but you never can tell. Now, here's one right here in Tuscaloosa. Now check this out. I understand sometimes you get tired. I understand sometimes you get tired, you want to put your car over and take a nap, which is cool. Which is, okay, no, nothing wrong with that. But if you're gonna pull over, okay, if you're gonna pull over and take a nap, make sure that you don't have $44,000 in cash, okay, in the car with you. Because the police are gonna swear up and down that that's got something to do with drugs. And it may or may not. But one thing about it, they allege that you deal. In America today, I don't care if you save for 40 years, hold that money, $1,000 a year you save for 40 years, and all of a sudden now it's your money, and they're gonna swim down you a dealer. So keep the money in the bank, but at least don't go to sleep in your car at the gas station with $44,000 in the car. I'm just telling, because if it ain't drug money, if it isn't drug money, they're gonna swear it down that it is. So the best way to stay out of that, keep the money in the bank. And the question must be asked, why would you have $44,000 in the car with you unless you're going to buy a car? I'm just saying. So you might. So that happened in Tuscaloosa. Of course, they did seize guns and drugs and more than $44,000 in cash. I mean, why would you carry that much money and then go to sleep with the money in the car? Why would you do that? I mean, come on, man. I mean, you're not a smart drug dealer. That's all I can tell you. Good morning. Who's this? Fine.
I really enjoyed listening to your various guests this morning. Very enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
Good when you get other guys in like you do.
Yeah.
You initially started off talking about oil, crude oil,
right,
exporting and stuff like that. You had different folks calling in.
Mm-hmm.
I actually read a very good article by a CEO of a major oil company in North America. Very enlightening. And listening to your different callers, and you also, to a certain extent this morning, you're not exactly aware of the economic situation of oil-producing companies, refineries, etc. For instance, one of your very first callers said we had 100 years worth of oil in the ground, and I think he was mistakenly comparing the 100 years of oil with the strategic petroleum reserve that we have. We do have 100 years of oil in the ground, but that's undrilled oil. That's shale oil. That's all the different oil up in Alaska on these different wildlife reserves that have not been drilled. The strategic petroleum reserve that we have is stored in 4 different bunkers. And we only have, according to May 25th numbers, I Googled this while I was listening to you, we have 526 million barrels of oil in these 4 repositories that we have. Okay. We use 19.78 million barrels of oil a day. So that equates to, if we were to deplete this strategic reserve, we only have 28 days worth of crude oil in these reserves.
Which means that we ought to be drilling our own oil, which is what that means.
And we do. But this goes back to really the very first comment that you said today. Why are we exporting oil?
Right.
Okay. And this is where it goes back to this article I read by this CEO. He said we have not had a new oil refinery come online in North America in 60 years.
Wow.
And he said you will not see another one come on because it's a multi-billion-dollar venture. With environmental laws and stuff like that, it takes over 10 years to build it and come online. And then it takes over 10 years before you start seeing a profit from that multi-billion-dollar thing. Why do we export oil? Because crude oil in the ground is not the same. You have sweet oil, you have sour oil. What's the difference there? It depends on the sulfur that's in the oil.
Okay.
Okay. There's different viscosities. Just like you go to Walmart and you want to change oil in your car, you can buy 5W20, you can buy 10W40, you can buy a straight 40 weight. Viscosity is the thickness of the oil. We have oil refineries in North America right now that cannot refine the oil that we pump out of the ground in North America. As a result of that, they have to export this crude oil that we cannot refine to other countries that do have the refinery capacities to process that oil. And so everything that we are currently exporting out of North America is oil that we cannot refine domestically. And
Yeah.
we're never going to get the ability to refine that because the cost. Look, and like
But our government is making the cost go up, though. Our government is making the cost to go up.
he makes this point. He said, why would we put multi-billion dollars into a project that's going to cost us 20 years to get to where we can start refining that and making a profit when you might have somebody say like Trump, drill baby Bill, drill baby drill, and the next administration that comes in like Biden stops that process.
And again, and the question is, why are we stopping it? If anybody believes that electric cars are going to take us out of this energy thing, they absolutely. It takes oil to produce electricity.
The same CEO said it took us 50 years as a nation to increase our capacity within the petroleum industry just 10%, 10-fold.
Yeah.
10-fold.
Yeah.
He said to go electric, it would take us 90-fold.
Well, they had right. They used to have electric cars in America in early 1900s. They had them. It didn't work.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I drive 800 miles a week sometimes just on my personal vehicle going to and from work.
Yeah.
I would love to buy an electric car, but when some electric cars nowadays cost the same as a house.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather live in a house and drive. Yeah. Woo. I don't know.
And so, I would love to have an electric vehicle, but it's not, especially I'm almost 60 years old, I'm not going to live long enough to get the damn thing paid off and get a return on my money.
I mean, yeah.
Charging your electric vehicle is not free. You can't plug it into a 110 outlet. And I was just now reading this while I was on hold. For every 1 hour that you charge, you get 4 hours charging ability. So if I charge my vehicle for 8 hours out of a 110 volt, I'm only going to get 8 times 4, 32 hours worth of driving.
But at the end of the day, though, you still got to pay for the electric that you're using to charge the vehicle. So I
also read about what it takes to do this. The cost to manufacture the car from an environmental standpoint, from a cost of an electricity standpoint, from a cost of a steel and plastic process, you are actually causing more damage to the environment to get to that electric car ability than we are from the use of nuclear and coal and everything else.
Yeah.
We want to say there's no emissions, but during the manufacturing process, we are actually creating more emissions, creating that vehicle, than it will save over the lifetime of the car.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Appreciate it. Let me take one more call before I take my last break. An hour. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
Now, if we can drill for that oil and then we can't process it in the country, when did that start happening that we could not process it in the country?
Okay.
Okay, so now, and then since they sending all that stuff overseas, why is we using our military to protect the industry that say they can't do nothing about gas prices in this country? That they making all that money overseas and then bring back here, they're spending us with all these prices. Why is we using our military to keep them folks in them foreign countries?
Brother, you got me, because I don't have a clue. But I know one thing, our leadership in America right now, and it's been that way for a while. Our leadership in America right now does not put the priorities of Americans first. It's almost as if it's about making everybody else in the world rich but us. It's almost like there's a conspiracy to make America less than it is.
Right, because they come over in that oil pipeline in Russia.
Well, I don't know.
Countries, and then you get to the Middle East, the Shell and all those folks are still over there making that money. And we say we can't do nothing about the prices here in America on these people, that we use our military to protect that same dollar overseas.
Yep, I hear you, brother. Gotta take a break. We'll be back. Oh.
On News Radio 1440.
Okay. Now, one more thing, one more spot before I get out of here. You know, this is for the guys. You know, guys, as you get older, you know, your testosterone thing gets a little low, and you have something what we call low T, and low T is good. Like if you're 95, you don't need a whole lot of T because I don't want to hurt yourself. But if you're young, you want to at least have your T up there a little bit so you can handle your business. Got a little energy. But if you feel lethargic, if you feel weak, if you feel like you don't have any energy, I want you to call Montgomery Men's Health, okay, at 334-440-3663. For $99, you'll be able to check your T to make sure your T, okay, is good. It's a good T rather than a bad T. No, you need an HT rather than an LT. Low T versus high T you need. Okay, so you need to get those guys to call 99, and plus they'll check your PSA count. I think that's got something to do with not testosterone, your whatever that part of your body is down there that grows bigger. What do you call that thing? Anyway, I forget what you call it. But anyway, I got one. At least I think I still got one. Anyway, if I didn't have one, somebody would tell me. Anyway, it's called a PSA test. They'll tell you what that is when you get over it. Okay, it is the best $99 you can spend right now. Okay, because as you get older, things happen to the body. Trust me, I know. Things happen, and you can't do everything the way you used to do it. Okay, but part of that is because of low testosterone, and testosterone is one of the chemicals in a man's body that make him a man. Now, I ain't talking about the guy who was born a woman who wants to be a man. Okay, I'm talking about God If when you were born, you were a male, you got a little bit more teeth than the females do. And we need to get that back up to that level so you can be the man that you want to be. So give them a call, 334-440-3663. I guarantee you, it is the best $99 you'll spend this whole year. Okay? Trust me on that one. Give them a call. Montgomery's Men's Health. All right. Well, it's 8:56 in the morning. Not a whole lot of time left. Want to thank Robert White for coming. And if you want to help, if you want to donate, you can go to their website, corlive.com. That's a refuge, City of Refuge Live, Live, and donate something. If you want to, just go in and observe, you can do that too. But they can always use a little bit of money. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in there and throw a little change in there myself. I ain't got a lot of change, but I can help out every once in a while. As a matter of fact, I got some money downstairs in my helping hand account. I think we'll just go out there and take that to them, take a little bit of that to them, because they are certainly doing a great job. It's about time that people started looking at the potential of our young folks rather than feeding them the same old grits warmed up in a different pot. Okay, we need some new pots and some new grits, and I believe they got the right idea that they're doing right now to interest these kids in what's actually relevant today. 860-424, one more call, then I'm out of here. Good morning, who's this? All right then. Okay. Well, we done. Ed, I'm gonna have to ban you. Okay, really seriously. If you don't abide by the rules. Good morning, who's this? Okay. Ed needs a life. He really does. He needs a life. I ain't mad at him. Well, my time is up. I thank you for yours. And I gotta go because well, I gotta go. Okay. It is what it is. All right. So we gotta go. Okay, I'm trying to get I only got like 30 seconds left. Oh, now I can go. Bye.
Now, your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning,
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles tonight.
Some national news recently, a 12-year-old fired a gun while robbing a gas station in Michigan, got away with thousands of dollars in cash. He fired the shot to the ceiling. Nobody was hurt. Police say he got the gun from a locked cabinet at his home after prying it open. Police say the shooter was later arrested. Back here in Montgomery, our Summer Food and Food Drive is this Saturday from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Red Food Market on East Chase Parkway. Collecting money and non-perishable food items. We'll have station employees who got their help from dropping off money and food items. Please come out and join us for our Summer Fun and Food Drive this Friday. That's your news. I'm Jen Davis.
WLWIAM is News Radio 1440, also heard on 95.1 HD3 FM in Montgomery, a Cumulus media station.
Hey, bud, this is Copaz. Hey, Captain. We have some great news. We're building in a warehouse.
Yeah, the bad news is we have over $1 million worth of inventory that we have to move. That's over 4,000 people.
So, Captain, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a huge warehouse sale. I would rather discount it and sell it than move it.
For the first time ever.
Well, goodbye, guys. We'll see you tomorrow if the good Lord says the same.